What's up, weebs? Welcome back to Anime Lane, the podcast where we take you down the yellow brick road of anime and have a look at everything it has to offer. As always, I am your host, Notorious, and join me once again today, once this intro is over, is Shaun and Melina, and in one section, Manuel. This is another EX cut bringing together all of Yoshiaki Kawajiri's work from the beginning of his career with his standalone directorial debut with Wicked City, then Demon City, Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, Goku Midnight Eye, and Cyber City Oedo. Those are not actually in release order because there's a couple of films, a couple of OVAs, specifically Goku Midnight Eye and Cyber City Oedo 808 are both OVAs. He did direct stuff before this, before Wicked City. He directed Lensman, but I believe as a co-directorship. I mentioned this at some point in one of the clips, as I've just heard while editing. And he's directed a couple of things after this. One of them is Birdie the Mighty, which is a full like kind of OVA series. It's not like a couple of episodes. It's like a full series type thing. He also directed X, the TV series, and he directed segments of The Animatrix, Batman Gotham Knight, and then, as I mentioned later in one of the segments, he's kind of mostly right now animating and storyboarding, or particularly storyboarding since about 2012 is all he's kind of done. So yeah, his body of work is massive, and I'm only going over this here because I want to clarify that yes, he has other work, but to track it down, to cover it, is kind of messy. And so I've kind of picked out the ones that I think are his big directorial works, and that aren't too either complicated to get hold of, or legally dubious, but also not too lengthy to watch, like Birdie the Mighty, or watching a whole compilation of shorts like The Animatrix and Batman Gotham Knight, just to kind of cover all of his stuff and create this big episode out of. So unlike Satoshi Kon, where we have seen all of his work except for his TV series Paranoia Agent, we're stopping here with Kawajiri, because it feels like we've covered a good amount of his work, and we've kind of gone over everything. So yes, I will hand you now over from this intro to future myself and everyone to talk, well, not future self, past self, sorry, to actually go over everything. I hope you enjoy. It's a tale of two cities in the Yoshiaki Kawajiri directed Wicked City and Demon City Shinjuku double feature. Animation production by Madhouse. Wicked City is written by Norio Osada. Demon City Shinjuku is written by Kaori Okamura. Music by Osamu Shoji and Motokazu Shinoda respectively. One's very, I'd say, Osamu Shoji-like, and then Motokazu Shinoda went very synthy in Demon City.
Fuck yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Oh. Both are based on novels by Hideyuki Kikuchi, licensed in the UK by what was formerly Manga Entertainment, is now Crunchyroll. It should have the manga logo on the case though. You can purchase both in Blu-ray disc. Apparently, I'm saying that out loud.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
Just go with it. And
skip over it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And for some reason, DVD. Why did they put 4K scans out on DVD? I don't know.
Those were 4K scans?
Yeah. In the US, it is licensed by Discotek Media, available on Blu-ray and on the Retrocross streaming service. If you have the ability to play Region A American Blu-rays, I highly recommend the Discotek release over the UK one, because Demon City is totally out of sync.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I
So
love
we all
that.
watched the Discotek version because I went out of my way to buy them. The picture is fine. Wicked City in the UK is missing the British dub, which is hilarious.
I was actually going to ask.
Yeah, it has the American one, but not the British one.
Because that sounds like such a fucking UK release thing to do.
Subtitles are fine, but for Demon City, the subtitles are about a second out of sync.
I hate it.
Yeah, so fun.
I'm glad we were spared.
Yeah. So, if you haven't noticed, this is the Halloween.
We've not really made it apparent yet, have we? It's the spooky,
Trust
spooky
us,
season.
we're all dressed up in our Halloween
Yeah.
costumes. If you saw us, the atmosphere here.
I'm skinny
so
enough,
spooky.
like in real life, just count as a skeleton. So, that counts.
We have the decorations up.
Absolutely.
The mood lighting is set.
We're all sipping our pumpkin spice
yeah,
lattes.
it's definitely.
I mean, my can is orange, that counts.
Shh, that's your pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut it.
Hey, I said can, I didn't say
It is-
can of what.
Definitely October as we're recording this. Sure.
Shut
Oh,
up.
don't tell them. You're gonna reveal the secrets.
I mean, at least it's September and not,
No,
July. Like, half of our shit was recorded in July
breaking the
and
magic.
August. And is coming out in like December and
No,
January.
we recorded the day before it comes out.
I can't
so
wait
it's
till,
nice
like-
and relevant.
In one of those episodes, we remember, like, we talk about something very topical in, like, summer, and it's coming out in December. Like, oh, wow, Elon Musk just changed Twitter to X. Isn't that something? And it's like 2024.
It's already back to Twitter at that
Or
point.
it's gone.
Yeah, it's dead at that point. And we're talking about it like it just happened. We just like having breaks near the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, we have other stuff going on.
We do.
We have schedules. You wouldn't think, but we do.
So yeah, this is the Halloween special. We last year on Napcast we did like a whole month of Halloween stuff. That was
Exhausting.
exhausting and too much. We kind of didn't do anything for Anime Lane just because like we weren't, I think, planning far enough ahead to account for.
No.
We weren't ready yet.
No, not at that point.
That's really what this comes
Yeah.
down to.
And so yeah, we just decided that like Halloween, I guess, for Anime Lane will be like just one episode, and the chat episode will be just kept for whatever the fuck. So yeah, we watched Demon City first, although technically Wicked City and Demon City released like in that order. I forgot to mention what year they fucking released in the opening, so let me just
dare
quickly-
What? You missed
just
vital
horrible
information.
So Wicked City was 1987 and Demon City Shinjuku was 1988. So
They
yeah.
both feel very 80s anime.
Oh, they
Oh,
are. They're
yeah.
absolutely boom. Not boom. Bubble period
Yeah.
productions and that.
That's before the boom.
That's before the boom. That's before the bubble went boom. Wicked City came about because Yoshiaki Kawajiri was asked to produce a 35-minute Wicked City adaptation, and like the production committee was like so impressed with it that they asked for a full feature off the back of that, which I'm surprised by, because I don't know how you could fit this in a 35
No.
Yeah, like this. There is a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, so obviously we'll talk about Wicked City last because we watched Demon City first. It came out second, but I would say it's the lesser of the two, even though they're both kind of on par with
It's
each other
hard
on
for
a
me
level.
to choose which one I'd
Yeah.
like more.
I kind of went off it based on the one time I'd seen them before, and obviously that was watching the Scuffed
Yeah,
manga
yeah.
release. So I don't know how much of my initial impression of Demon City was based on the fact that I was having to deal with subtitles being a whole second or so
That's fair.
out
Yeah.
of sync. So
Out of the two of them, I honestly think, just to like sort of give my thoughts away right at the beginning, I think I'd put Demon City just a little above.
okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
just honestly purely on vibes.
I can kind of get that. Like, I prefer the soundtrack of Demon City a
Absolutely,
lot more.
it's so 80s.
I think I might have it on vinyl.
Wow.
I know I have one of them on vinyl, but I don't remember which one it is
I
because
hope
it's
it's
sitting
Demon.
in the box. Or it could be Devilman. I'm not sure. I'd need to check.
We're gonna check right
I'm gonna
after
check,
the episode.
yeah.
now.
So yeah, Demon City. I don't know where to start with this one. Like, we've watched Kawajiri before. Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust were both Kawajiri productions, but these are very much, I think, Kawajiri productions in that they have his dark and very selective color palette going on.
Yeah, because I think in both you kind of notice the reds and blues
Yeah.
are very much used to kind of tell you a story of contrast and all that.
Yeah.
You literally said the same thing, like
Yeah.
when you were watching it.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the first things I noticed. Because in Demon City, you start with like the battle sequence, which they jump right into.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, what's happening? Who are you?
And that is not relevant again until the very end of the movie.
Yeah, who's this guy and who's the Wolverine here?
Yeah, they just jump you in, and then they're like, oh, he's killed him. I'm like, okay, who is he?
I was so tempted to send you
what
like
does he do?
a screenshot of like the dad and just put like the caption "The Wolverine 2013."
But that sequence itself, immediately you notice the use of like color. But again, you're so distracted by what's going on.
Who this? Why this? What's
It looks
happening?
good, but I don't get it.
Oh, it's a ninja scroll again. I see.
We're very much throwing NVIDIA res into this. You know, it starts off, we're in the middle of this, and then we're just onto the son's perspective after that. Like no preamble or anything. Like
Nope.
we get the title screen and then it's just
There he
like,
is.
No,
there
It's
it
a
then
guy.
we cut to the president of the World Federation, who's also the Messiah. The way they're talking about him.
No,
'Cause, like,
that's Wicked City.
that's Wicked City.
Yeah.
I thought that was Demon City.
No.
No, I know it's
Jimmy Carter's in Wicked City.
God, I'm confusing them so much now.
Oh no.
I'm sure it's
wait.
Demon
No,
City.
Demon
Yeah,
City
yeah.
is
Yeah,
it's
Sorry,
it's
mass-
like Wicked
there's
City.
tiny old dudes in both, so
yeah,
it's
that's
very
yeah.
So I'm right.
I'm
Yeah.
getting confused between the very basic thing that they share in common is that you have a guy who is very important to sealing some sort of deal being kidnapped.
Yeah, they're really similar.
yeah.
But
And
yeah,
then-
they have President Messiah,
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. And then he's just kind of tied up in some demon web, right?
Like
Vines?
vines, yeah.
Yeah. And I love how they just every now and then go back to it. Oh, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Like
Yeah.
they make an effort to go back to it. I'm like, oh, tell me some plot thing. No.
And
No.
he's totally irrelevant, really.
They're just showing it to us so we remember. Oh, he's still there. Okay,
He's
that's
the
good. That's
MacGuffin.
good.
yeah,
But it doesn't do anything. They just keep going. He's like,
They
still
also
there.
don't
Still there.
technically save him at the end of the movie
Joe
either.
Biden has asked you to do him this favor. You've got to do it for Joe Biden.
I'm not even American.
I don't even speak your language, my dude. I don't know you want.
Also, of all the things that I don't know if you checked out the dub at all
No.
for this.
Oh,
we
you
did.
didn't want to.
Me and Shaun had a quick look at it, and for some reason, the girl is English.
Oh,
But
Like-
genuinely English? It's
No,
hard to tell.
just like that's the accent they gave her.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the actress, was she genuinely
Oh, I
English?
could
It's
not
hard
tell
to
you.
To me, it sounds very much like Breath of the Wild Zelda.
Oh, it sounds put on by an
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
person for sure. You because like the opening scene's really strange when you get into the cafe restaurant type place because you have the main character whose name I don't remember. I know that in
Shonen
Wicked
Man.
City it is Taki, which
is it Genchuro? No, that's
Geni-
Taki Genchuro.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
and then he sounds 30 years old. Shaun already got confused by the fact he looks like 20, but he's actually a high school kid.
Yeah, like, in the middle of the movie,
Yeah.
he just says, "What do you expect from a high school student?" And I'm like, "Fuck off! You're in high school."
Yeah, and she's meant to be like
Yes.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that moment when there's like, well, I'm a high school kid. I'm like, immediately, Steve Buscemi, what's up, you fellow kids? I'm like,
this is the
no,
thing,
no.
At this point, we should just expect it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen enough of JoJo to
You,
know.
I was gonna say Jotaro is like a 40-year-old looking ass
Yeah.
man, and he's like 15.
Where, like, yeah, they're bodybuilders,
Yeah.
but they're 14.
Yeah, exactly. I think back of like my age when I was 14, every boy's just like skinny and insecure,
Yeah.
but not this boy. No,
I'm not even a teenager, and I'm still like that. Come on.
Also, kid on his Heelys, best part.
Oh no, hold on. We gotta
Hold on.
tell you what the dub of this
So,
kid is.
Oh, no.
I'll finish my thought on the dub.
Yeah.
Now
Of
that you've
course, yeah.
mentioned the kid.
This leads in.
Good.
So yeah, we're in that restaurant. He sounds 30, which was immediately off-putting. But the waitress person he's speaking to, is like awful put on Southern.
Oh no.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
For context, I only listened to like the end part of the dub, so like I didn't.
Yeah,
watch
she
the
never
opening
comes
scene.
up again. So
Yeah.
immediately like, oh, this is not gonna be great. So then flash forward to the girl showing up. She's English. Then they meet the kid, and he's
How do you want to explain this?
he's Mexican.
A Mexican adult.
Yeah, Mexican adult, but obviously not like a real Mexican accent either.
Oh,
I actually looked into the casting, and I think from what I found, he's actually voiced by a very white English guy.
Yeah, that sounds about right for the era.
So you can tell it's a very Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah.
That's what I
there's,
question.
That's
there's
what I
nothing
question.
about this boy character that in me would say Mexican.
No,
No.
Okay, well, that's a choice.
there's nothing really about the girl and the dad that struck me as English. More so, very bona fide American.
Yeah, they're rich.
And like, yeah, in dubbing, I guess you want to discern between, but at the same time, you could get away with just not.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
Especially
would
in
care.
this era.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like a suspension of disbelief in this sort of
Exactly.
thing. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Now you know.
But yeah, I like the little kid on his Heelys. He just fucking showed up. Beep. Hi. What's up?
Kind of led them
Pay
to
me.
their death.
He has the Heelys I wish I had as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He
He's
has
just zooming
electric
along.
Heelys,
Yeah.
just zooming along. The animators must have loved it.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing. He just whooshes.
With his two-headed dog pet that dies immediately.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
And the girl's just like, nah, he's nice. He's pretty cool. It's like, oh, fuck. I should have just paid attention to him and loved him. What the fuck is this?
With my girl powers of empathy, I can fix them.
Also, can we talk about the fact that the kid sleeps in like a hammock type thing,
yeah.
but immediately somewhere within that vicinity is like the very Love Hotel looking
Yeah.
bedroom
Anime.
Oh, yeah.
that he
Like
could
a
have slept in.
hotel-ish
Yeah,
looking room.
it's a Love Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Just that's the general look. Like
Yeah.
you're not getting like a genuine normal hotel.
The
It
big
just
You can just,
circle
you can
bed.
just
that
tell
looks like
after
it's
a while.
clam. Did you notice? It's
was
like
it
a clam
clam?
shell.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
clown.
I was just, tropical theme room. How 90s.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you.
Yeah. And the tension there.
Yeah.
But again, he's
Yeah.
no.
Uh-huh.
I do love the fact that like they have this one scene where like he looks over, you think he's gonna do a bad thing, but he's like, nah, I can't. I gotta sleep on the floor
He
now.
then sleeps on the floor when there's a couch in the room.
Yeah.
Hey, respect trumps everything else, even sanity.
Must respect women.
Yeah, he's got the respect women juice.
Oh my god.
I mean, he's for an 18-year-old. He's fairly respectful.
18? No, they said high school. I'm thinking they're aiming like 16.
But a buff boy for 16.
Again,
It's anime.
Hold on, let me show you the main character of Stardust Crusaders.
I'm sure we've done this before.
Oh, God.
This man is 17.
Steroids. Steroids.
At 40, he looks younger.
The only
Oh my
time this
God.
ever makes sense in the series is like with Jonathan, because like he's a rugby player.
Yeah.
And he's like
It
19.
kind of makes sense for Joseph as well, I
Yeah,
think.
because he's thrown on the street
Yeah.
and stuff. He shouldn't look like a fucking gym lad, but
No.
Beef boy.
you can understand he's somewhat strong.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the character listing for this so I cannot, because I don't remember. Izuya Kyoya, that's it.
I know Mephisto shows up.
Yeah, he doesn't really do anything.
Why is he here? Oh, he's Italian in the dub, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mephisto.
Who?
Mephisto.
The guy
Oh,
in
Mephisto.
red. Yeah.
He's Italian in the dub. Very Italian.
Oh.
That's
I might go back to that.
Yeah, you might want to go back to that.
Just to have a look and be like, oh!
well.
It's a
There's
mad
what he
wow.
looks. There's what Kyoya looks like in the novel, by the way.
Yeah, see, that's a kid.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a kid. Like, overgrown hair, skinny, big clothes,
Yeah.
very big eyes.
Everything about his sword and like his get up screams more kind of the character they're going for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
rather than semi-delinquent-ish that they're going for in
Yeah.
the movie. Doesn't mention his age, but this barely looks like a biography, I'll be honest.
No.
Yeah, this is barely a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I don't think this will tell me. Nah.
No, this is a man. He looks in his 30s.
I'm gonna be honest, he looks like the most generic shonen protagonist.
He does. He looks like he's right out of Yu Yu Hakusho.
And to be fair, this movie is very much just a basic shonen plot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he looks like he'd fit in with these
Oh,
guys.
absolutely. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's
would,
him right there.
Yeah. And yeah, so there's the kind of like what his uniform would kind of look like if it was buttoned up, but instead he has it open, so you only
And he's
see,
wearing a
like,
sort of, is it not a jacket? Is it just like the sort of blazer thing?
Yes, the blazer.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought it was like a jacket or something.
It's technically a jacket. Japanese school uniforms are weird.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
It also has like a weird priest collary type thing.
Yeah,
too.
I don't know enough.
Nah, it's
so
weird.
I don't feel confident. Stating.
But yeah, I had seen like enough stuff to like immediately recognize it as like a uniform. So I was
Okay.
like, this kid's a high school kid, and
Yeah,
there's
he
just
is.
enough suspension of disbelief with anime to go, sure, I guess.
You only pointed it out after I'd seen the movie, and I literally went, didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I thought it was like white t-shirt, like black leather jacket. Sort
Yeah.
of get
I
up
mean,
behind
that's
it.
what I thought,
I
yeah.
could totally see how, because it kind of looks almost like Akira's
Yeah.
kind of jacket
yeah,
in
yeah.
some scenes. Yeah, weird. Now seeing the novel character design, that's a weird choice to me.
Yeah, the novel design was way better.
Yeah. The girl
Peach.
Peach.
Let's just call her Peach.
Yeah.
Brunette Peach.
Yeah.
She's
She's
there.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. One-dimensional female character.
Yeah.
She's the girl.
And it's
Yep.
hilarious that at the end, the sort of like Master Roshi and Jimmy Carter guys are sitting. You don't even. You're not gonna get the Master Roshi joke, I guess.
No.
Are kind of sitting watching from like wherever the fuck they are, and Master Roshi is like, oh, the two of them have done something to save the world together. They're stronger. And I'm like, she didn't do anything.
She didn't do
She
She got
was just
captured.
kinda there.
Yeah. Like, she didn't do shit.
Like, literally, they show up and, like, the bad guy is just like, hey, you look like a good damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Then just captures her.
Like, Kyoya gets the shit knocked out of him, finds his dad's sword, Mephisto shows up, rescues Peach,
This all happens in the last 10 minutes
Yeah.
of the movie, by
Yeah.
the way.
and then Kyoya shows back up and fucking one-shots the man.
Yeah. He picks up the sword and it's just like, okay, end the movie. All right.
Yeah.
And then roll
Bonk.
credits.
We're running out of time and we need space for the credits. Ah, fuck.
He kills him and they're happy. Ta-da!
Yeah.
And don't forget to kiss the love interest.
Yeah, they kiss
Don't
like right at the
forget
end.
You need to end it with that.
Oh.
It's obligated. Because it's shonen.
There's something to be said about the fact that like both of these are based on Hideyuki Kikuchi books, right? And I'd say he's definitely better at writing adult characters.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say marginally, like massively so, but definitely he's better at handling adult
Definitely an
characters
improvement.
than the teen ones.
Yeah.
Like everyone is so one-dimensional in Demon
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
And then, but there's like a bit more depth, I think, to the characters in Wicked City.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's not much, but there's a little
I
bit.
think with Wicked City being like the first book in a series, because it's based on the first book, Blackguard, I think I can kind of forgive that the characters maybe don't feel as rounded out as they should, because it's like, oh, well, you would need to experience the rest to see the development
Yeah,
of these
yeah.
characters.
Unfortunately, I have not.
Yeah, and I think only the first 3 ever got translated in English out of like 11.
Christ.
So yeah, yeah, he wasn't great at writing kids.
No, it just had the feeling of, a 7-year-old just walked up and was like, Father, you must help me with this quest. I'm like, no. No.
Papa.
Papa.
Mom, I pissed the bed.
It's hard to write younger people than yourself.
Yeah.
It's always easiest to write someone who's like yourself.
However, I would say that, like, a lot of shonen handle it better by just writing them as people.
Fair.
That's impossible. That's
How,
stupid.
what? What?
Because, like, yeah, everyone kind of goes, oh, they all act like adults. And it's like, well, would you rather that or them be some absolutely painful edgelord?
Yeah, I'd rather they not
try
be
to write them.
Yeah.
actual teenagers, because actual teenagers are the worst.
Yeah.
I say this as a
this.
teenager who was also the worst to myself.
Yeah, but every teenager's horrible. I want to see a teenager like, I don't fucking want to.
there is stuff like that, but I think, like, in the vast majority of shonen where we're talking about power fantasies,
Yeah.
which Demon City, in a sense, is, I think it just works better if you kind of take them and write them as adults.
Yeah.
Or in the case of One Piece and Hunter x Hunter, is just write the dumbest fucking character in existence.
Yeah.
I should watch One Piece.
You should. It's very good.
God, any other thoughts about it? It's the one I watched first, and we had to watch a lot for this
We
session.
did, yeah.
So
So it's in the backest of our
Yeah,
Yes.
my head is still a little fuzzy from all of this. Like, I can feel the static.
Yeah, it's just like, what happened? What happened again?
All I
The
can
city
think
was
of
in ruins. There were ruins.
all I can think of right now to bring up is just the fact the random Mephisto fight at in the second act that it happened, and then we move on.
I think also is the fact that Mephisto shows up like 3 times
Yeah,
in the whole course of the movie. He shows up in the second act, fights in the second act, disappears again until the third act where he randomly shows up and saves Peach.
very tuxedo mask and the sort of
Yeah.
my work here is done, but you didn't do anything.
Like, he literally shows up and says something about, oh, you would make like a very dashing bride or something. He's like, but alas, you're not for me. And I'm like,
That's a child, sir.
what?
Of course.
What is happening?
My good sir. No.
He came in, talked about Greek mythology, didn't elaborate, and then he
Yeah,
left.
he kept going on about Pandora's box.
I'm like, yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but you can't just bring that up in front of a 15-year-old and be like, I get it. I get it.
Oh man, that's deep.
Yeah, like, is he trying to impress her? He's like, ever heard of Pandora's box?
So have you heard of the Greek mythological tale?
I have English class tomorrow. It's like, okay.
Okay. This was a movie.
It was a movie.
He's basically the equivalent of the guy that shows up and go, hey, have you heard of the critically acclaimed?
No! Not again. I'm not playing it yet, god damn
What?
it. Final Fantasy 14.
Oh my god!
The critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14 now online, now with an extended free trial.
Dude, I ain't fucking playing it right now, man.
I don't care.
Oh, there was also that one sequence where they met the ghost of a child.
Oh yeah, the whole part where I just zoned out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
It's like, she's a child.
What was up
She's
with
trying
that?
to kill us.
Yeah,
Oh no,
there's-
she's a child again.
They're the souls of the people that died in the initial
There's
demon
like
attack or
3
something.
things going on in that scene, like all at the same
Yeah.
time. You have Kyoya being in the fucking spirit realm or something.
He's gonna meet Uncle Iroh.
He got fucking Doctor Stranged out of his body, I guess. Then you have Peach apparently like... and then everything that's going on with the that. Our headphones are acting up again.
Okay.
Are you telling me you didn't notice the left one totally cut out there?
Sean. Oh, wait, I noticed. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Let's not dwell on this. Let's move on.
But yeah, child goes insane.
Yeah.
Child shoots? Question.
Child gets hug.
Yeah.
And child's fine.
Yeah.
Child disintegrates.
Child okay.
Child gives the creepiest smile.
Yes.
I mean, overall, the character is creepily designed in the first place.
To bring up like another fucking Avatar reference in like 2 minutes, she looks like May from like Avatar, but like a very small child.
Yeah.
I had like a full 5 minutes where it's like, she looks like a character I've seen before, but I don't know who. And then like after the scene was over, I literally just went, May!
I also think like she kind of looks like an aged down version of the like main girl.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were going like psychological
me,
stuff.
Yeah.
Because I had the same thought where it's like, is she the mother? No, because no. I was like, time travel. No, it happened so long, but she's mother's sister. Mother, no.
There's also
aunt.
part of me like, child of those two?
Yeah, I got that same idea, but I felt weird thinking that.
Same, yeah.
And I don't think that like at all that's meant to be what's happening, but you know.
You can't have characters look too similar.
Yeah.
You know, you like.
We're getting the Galaxy Express problem.
Yeah.
Every woman looks like Maytel.
Maytel.
That's Frosty Maytel. It's Queen Maytel.
It's spooky Maytel.
Spooky Maytel.
But I think it's something you just, you know, in film in general, you have to watch out for characters that just look too similar. You can't have two women with long blonde hair without there being, you know, a connection between them or something that you can tell them apart from.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's a mess.
Can we have one just have like a mole or something?
Yeah.
I think honestly, if I were to say anything about like how these movies look, is that I kind of wish they had a different character designer. Because I feel like there's just a lack of anything happening in the character designs. I think they're all designed to be very human.
Yeah, but they don't really seem to have personality that's jumping off them.
Yeah.
They're just girl and guy.
Yeah.
Like,
The only one that comes closest is Master Roshi to me.
Yeah,
Because he looks like he's got an actual design that's giving off like a sort of character.
He never shows
and then he
up.
barely shows up, like he shows up for the long exposition dump.
Yeah, at the
beginning,
start, yeah.
Which all I heard, because I'm the Star Wars nerd, was Vader was seduced by the dark side. He betrayed and murdered you.
I heard him talking about Nempo and I'm like, this is just what Hunter x Hunter is like.
Cena.
Skip. Yep, there you go.
You could skip that entire scene and lose fuck all.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically him going, you have shonen powers. Go use those shonen powers.
Yeah.
And you can skip all of that and not be lost.
Hey, guess what? You're the protagonist. Oh, fuck.
Here's a pretty girl. Oh.
I can't reject Pretty Girl because, again, I'm the protagonist.
So it's like the Hulk meme of like him walking up to Ant-Man and just sort of handing him, and it's like main character syndrome. He's like, okay.
The call.
Oh, I gotta do stuff now. It's like, yeah, you're gonna carry
Like,
the store,
reject
my
the call,
dear.
and then we go immediately to the call knows where you live.
Yeah. Your dad was important. Oh, fuck.
God damn.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I was
starts
told he
dyeing
just
his hair.
left. Why couldn't he just left?
Starts dyeing his hair away from the main character color.
No,
No, please, not again.
No. His hair starts turning purple. He's like, no.
No. We're not doing this. Like a speck of white. No.
He just suddenly becomes blonde. Ah, fuck.
Oh no! His eyes turn like a weird pink color. Oh, for fuck's sake! Suddenly becomes buff 15-year-old. Oh, come on!
Suffering from success.
Oh, God.
See, that's a nice coming of age movie. Someone that just magically becomes the main character. And like, no.
Sure, that's a Tumblr prompt somewhere.
That is absolutely an anime film that needs to happen.
Yes, because I'd love to see it. So
just someone not wanting to be the main character of a shonen story.
Yeah, and like throughout the whole runtime, they're accidentally filling out the main quest.
Oh wait, shit! This is just One Punch Man.
Fuck. I should watch One Punch Man.
You should. Even I've seen like
Does he
3
go
episodes.
bald because he's shaving off his main character hair?
I can't remember.
I think
Oh
he's
god,
bald.
that's an actual possibility there.
But Kawajiri actually storyboarded for One Punch Man.
Oh.
So yeah, that's the weird thing is like Kawajiri hasn't directed a lot after I think Oedo might have. No, sorry, Bloodlust would have been his last one. But after that, he's like storyboarded for a whole bunch of stuff. So you got One Punch Man, Jujutsu Kaisen recently. Demon Slayer was another one I think I seen. So he's still active and still working
doing
on
stuff,
yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. It's a shame. I'd love to see him do something now.
Yeah.
and like how this style would translate to now.
Because I would like to see another movie like these.
Yeah.
Like they're very sort of easy to digest. I want to say piecemeal. Is that like the right term? I'm not sure.
Not if you're like talking easy to digest, because piecemeal is like you're being fed it in like small chunks.
I don't know food. But it's very sort of. It's just sort of simple, basically.
It's kind of junk food, I think.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. But like, I'd like to see more.
Yeah, I think if like you were to hear the reps of these movies within the anime community, you would think they're like high caliber cinema, and they're not really. Like, they're very pulpy films.
Yeah,
and I think that they are deserving of their rep in some capacity because they are high quality. And they're highly creative pieces.
They're competent.
They're competent, and they show a great sense of auteurism to them.
Cromulent.
I'd say they're more than cromulent, because I like the animation, I like the style, I like the music, I like the way that these are all constructed.
The vibe and aesthetics are all there.
Yeah, it's just for Demon City specifically, I think the story is really lacking in any depth to keep you going.
It's very different in like the case of both the movies, because you could like, I'm gonna say like you can turn off like all the audio and just have it on as like a visual sort of thing. You can get the same sort of enjoyment out of it, which I was gonna compare to Blade Runner, but I actually really like Blade Runner's story as well.
Blade Runner's story is great, but you could also just totally mute that film,
because that's just such a visual sort of masterpiece.
So yeah, any more thoughts on Demon City?
No,
honestly no.
So scores.
It's hard for me to really give it much of a score. I want to say like 6.5-ish.
Yeah, I was going 5.5 just because it's not very memorable.
No, I mean that's absolutely fair. I think like 7 for me, like I say, aesthetic vibes. As like a piece, like if you turn the audio off and don't pay attention to the story, like I think it's masterclass in that sense. But yeah, lacking a memorable story or anything. I would watch a version of this that was like the isolated soundtrack, which Discotheque have done before. You can watch the Galaxy Express movies with an isolated soundtrack.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's something I would like to have seen included as like a bonus. Is the ability to just watch that version of the movie. So yeah, I'd say 7. It's good. It's nothing special. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It is weirdly like predictable. Like you can kind of tell. Like, he's the son. Of course, yes.
You know exactly how the story's gonna go. 10 minutes
I find it interesting how tropey it is for being 1988, though.
That's true. Yeah, for sure.
Considering I think Shonen didn't really blast off into how it is now until kind of the late 90s, early 2000s.
I would say 90s.
Yeah. Like, sure, Dragon Ball was here, but nothing else was kind of doing it that way until much later, with like One Piece and stuff, and then Bleach and all that. The big three, so to speak. One Piece.
It really did sort of explode around the turn of the millennium.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's perfectly cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this one's much of a horror.
No.
They're demons.
Yeah.
They're demons.
If you're scared of that shit.
Yeah, but they're not even scary.
No.
Yeah. I'd say Wicked City kind of leans a little bit more into it, but even then it's
definitely
more just
more
like,
body horror.
Yeah.
Fucked up designs, really.
Yeah, because like in the first like part of the movie when he's having that quickie.
A casual encounter.
Yes. Taking up a woman's time. Never saying that again.
Keep going.
I don't want to.
Give more.
There's the shovel.
Can we just bleep that? I said that. I feel dirty saying
That's gonna sound worse if I bleep it.
Okay, true.
Okay, so Wicked City.
Oh.
We open in a bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where he starts taking a woman's time.
You're not making me feel better.
Takes him back to his for some Netflix and chill.
I thought it was like
her
a
place,
hotel.
his place?
I think it's her place.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was a hotel.
Oh god, I don't remember.
I think it's her place.
It's a place.
A place. They go to an apartment. It's not a hotel. I know
they're gonna do the fucky wucky.
That's worse.
Yeah.
Taking a woman's time.
No!
I'd rather just say fucky wucky.
I'm never gonna let that go.
That is one of the quotes of all time.
I don't want this on my tombstone. God, why am I single?
So after...
This is a weird Valentine's Day special.
It's so creepy it fits for Halloween.
Yeah. Thanks.
So after that...
Yep.
Lady transforms into half spider?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
And
freaked me out a little.
And he's just like, fuck.
Well, yeah, you
But
would.
he's also not too surprised.
Well, it's kind of, as you find out, part of his job
Yeah.
to deal
Yeah.
with demons. So,
Exactly.
You've seen it.
Yeah, he's been there, done that before. Which I'm
We're
pretty
getting
sure.
through the swimming lane.
No. I'm pretty sure, going by some of the lines of dialogue he has in the hotel later, when he's like playing, I think Go or something like that with the concierge, like he
Yeah.
does mention, I think, that he slept with demon women before.
Yeah.
So, I'm not wrong.
Like, something I want
You
to mention
shouldn't say it.
very early on, he gets his assignment.
Yeah.
And he's like, so someone from the other side will be joining you. It's like, okay, from Blackguard.
I also
whatever.
hate how they dress it up as the other side for so long.
Yeah.
When we've met a demon
Yeah.
woman already.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I hate that he was like, how will I find her? She's the most beautiful one you'll see. You'll know.
And,
I'm like, no.
she is
that is
the-
not
It's not
how
a
this works.
description.
She's
He's like,
also the
"You?"
most bishojo ass looking man that I've seen. Like, she looks like the main character of a shoujo manga.
Oh.
Define shoujo again.
Okay, so
I don't know.
shoujo is the one for women.
Okay.
Ah.
And I wonder if I just Google shoujo manga, because I can't think of any directly off the top of my head, since it's not like something I read a lot. Let me see if I can find one with a guy on it. But yeah, like if you look at the kind
yeah.
of like the sharpness.
Dreamy guy.
I don't like that cover.
Yeah, there we go. That
Yeah.
sort of
Dreamy, moody boy.
sharp
Yeah.
sharp designs, very kind of the spiky-ish hair.
Yeah.
Very effeminate, I would say, in
Yeah.
a sense.
Yeah.
Pretty boy.
That's kind of what
Yeah.
Maki.
I think Maki.
Maki,
yeah.
Maki.
Yeah. I was
whatever.
watching it with the English dub.
Maki and
so-
Taki.
Maki and Taki. That kept throwing me off.
Yeah. They're meant to be.
Ugh. Yeah, fuck that. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
exactly.
Fuck
You know what? I
that.
will agree with you on that. That
Oh
romance
my
was bullshit.
God. This tiny little Italian, maybe, dude. His name's fucking Giuseppe.
Giuseppe, who's actually Master fucking Roshi.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you want to
Master
talk about actual personality?
Yeah.
He's the biggest fucking creep in the world.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
fuck this guy.
Biggest fucking creep. And then at the end, they're like, no, it was his plan all along to fucking be a creep, to go to like a love hotel, or as he said, a Playboy club.
Yeah, something
I
along
guess.
those lines.
Yeah,
It's like a
that-
hostess sort of club
Yeah.
thing.
His whole thing was like, I want to go to this club. And they're like, please don't go to the club. And I'm like, how old are you?
I'm gonna
joint.
I'll just say
Yeah.
this right now. Like, I would have given this movie a whole extra like point if like right at the end, like he just kicked him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he just launched like a football.
Because he has one comment when they're in the car.
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember the exact sentence, but it's basically, oh, demon lady has good puss.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was
There
the
are
conversation.
multiple characters
Yeah.
that say the demon woman.
Yeah, but he said it directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just went for it to the point. I was like, no, let's go. But what the fuck did you just say?
They fuck well. What?
Can we not? Oh my god. He was like, I don't know. You need me to sign a treaty with boy. Boy, do they.
Do we have to protect him? Can we not just leave him on the side of the road
He's like,
somewhere?
we need him.
Also, apparently he's from the other side, so I'm like, are you, like, advocating?
Against it for.
Like, what are you
I don't know.
saying? Like, you're from, so,
I thought he was just a long-lived sort of
I
human.
genuinely don't know. It's confusing the way he gets introduced.
The implication, at least in like, because I watched the subtitles, I don't know if it's a difference in like the.
I
dub.
kind of had the subtitles on while I was
Oh,
watching
okay,
it.
but like
dubbed.
the way it was the way I thought they were explaining it was like he was just like a sort of mystic human
Yeah.
sorcerer guy.
That's what I took
I
as well.
think, but like there was also something about him being part of the, and I'm like, what are you on about?
I stopped caring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be honest. After a while, I stopped caring.
He showed up. So these two people are meant to pick up this guy from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever. Plane blows up. We're like, what? And then he just sends her. Thank God I took an earlier flight.
Oh, that
Right.
sucks. People died, man.
I was like, can we compassion?
Yeah.
Like this guy just watched like let's say 200 people
Yeah.
die. He's like, oh, thank God I wasn't there. Like
To be fair, he is
Yeah.
200 years old, so.
That's not an excuse.
That's not an excuse.
No, I hate the bullshit sort of he's immoral, he doesn't care about lives. Bullshit.
No, I more mean that he's 200 years old and brokered the original deal between the demons, so I'm pretty sure he's like been through some fucked up shit.
Okay.
He just watched a plane blow up.
Yeah, and he doesn't care about the people.
He's
That's
just like,
still
oh,
fucked up.
sucks.
I feel like that's got to be normal for him at this point. Like,
no.
I guess, but just a little inkling.
A little.
Look,
oh no! Would
the
have been
character he is for the
appreciated.
rest of the movie, are you really surprised?
I guess not.
It's like an immediate tone set.
I could still complain about him.
I mean,
Yeah.
Fuck him. I
Like,
hate him.
like the whole goal is we're trying to keep you safe, but booby please, booby please.
Where tit?
I was like, no, we have to. We need to sign the thing. You need to be safe. Oh come on, booby please.
But titties.
And then it's
Tickle
okay.
bitties.
If you don't take me to the tickle bitties, show me your like. Guy, you can do without for a day. You're okay. You're fine.
I said this to you, like, I think halfway through when I was watching it. I was like, a more accurate title for this movie would basically, the many ways you can violate a demon woman.
Yeah.
Because Maki gets put through a lot of shit.
Oh
She does,
my
yeah.
God. Yeah.
She's harassed. She's raped like twice.
triple raped you.
Triple rape, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was all part of the plan, apparently.
All according to Kakaku.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hated that they ended with he's half them or he has a gene. He is the gene.
He's got a spiritual gene. I don't know what
They
that
have
means.
a strong enough bond that means they can fuck and conceive a child that is half demon, half human.
And
Yeah.
that will solve all our problems.
And that will solve the problems.
I don't think it will.
No, I'm going to be
No.
honest, it really won't.
Yeah, but they already have terrorism from the other side. I don't think they're going to be like,
Yeah.
oh no, guys, there's a baby.
Yeah, like
There's
all that's gonna do
I-
is just
I
put
could've-
We
that
can't do
baby
this
a
anymore.
target.
I could have done without that. This could have just been like a cool series about like a secret police force type thing that like deals with demon terrorism.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that would have been so fucking
You
cool.
can get like a series worth of
Yeah,
stuff
I mean,
out
they
of
wrote
that.
11 books. I don't know how many of them the demon child thing is relevant in. I'm pretty sure one of them is called Devil Baby, so you know.
Well, there you go.
Okay, well, that's a hint.
But yeah, like take that out of it and you have a good enough core concept that you don't need that part. It's also so wildly out of nowhere at the end. It's
Yeah.
within the last like 20
Yeah.
minutes and they fuck and then it's like Maki disappears for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and suddenly comes back and is more powerful. And Giuseppe's just like, oh my god, she's pregnant. And I'm like, my guy, that's not how that works.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking fast.
Like, I also watched, I was like, well, thank God it doesn't fucking work like that, but
Yeah.
oh my God.
I don't know if demon like physiology is different, but it ain't working like that in the human
As the
world.
egg just there like,
Oh, that's my time.
Yep. Ovulating? No. Oh, never mind then. No, it just works. Whenever.
it just works. Just
Yes.
whenever.
Yeah. Don't question it, bro.
No.
Trust me, bro.
There's this whole fan fiction, theories. As soon as someone does the taking a woman's time,
Yeah.
pregnant.
I don't like how you keep
Pregnant.
staring at me every time you say that.
Because I want to remind you of the mistakes you made.
I'm glad I'm uninvolved.
I'm never drinking Monster again.
Oh, you think that's what's caused
Probably. I wouldn't have said something that's fucking stupid. That's my excuse.
this? Also, I like how Spider Lady, which we see in the beginning,
Disappears and then
Yeah.
shows up like right at the end.
she doesn't put on any clothes.
No.
No, she's
She
just
doesn't
wearing a garter
redress.
belt.
She doesn't,
No,
go back to being a human looking woman.
no, she just continues to be naked Spider Lady.
Yep.
Who instead of having normal private parts
She's someone's fetish.
has
Oh yeah,
teeth.
I'm gonna be honest. The immediate thought I
Yeah.
had when she transformed is someone's into this.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
She just has teeth, like creepy teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
I there are so many issues with that whole thing, but I'm also like, it does add something to the atmosphere of the fact that she's just like that to me. Like I don't know, it's a kind of a thing with like horror in general where like if you keep the the weirdness factor of it. I think it adds to the whatever's happening, but at the same time, it's like, woman, put on some clothes.
Yeah, why move out?
That's your issue. The fact that she has her, not her.
Yeah,
Priorities.
find a term. I tried.
Spider mouth clamp vagina.
Spider puss.
My guy, shut the fuck up.
This is not gonna do you well.
I've already fallen. It's too late.
This is the first episode of the day.
Hope has truly descended.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Spider Lady.
I've already
dies.
sinned once. Why not just do it a million times at this point? Go down there a legend.
Any more comments, Shaun? Or you wanna...
I think I'm just gonna shut my fucking mouth now.
Oh my
Happy
God.
Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, it's a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
My mouth is the true horror.
True. That's the title for this
Oh
episode.
yeah, there you go. Shaun doesn't shut the fuck up.
I mean, if it were an Appcast one, sure.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of a trip, this movie, to me.
Oh, yeah.
A trip of, wow!
And I think, like, again, had this been like any other type of movie, I would be like, what the actual fuck? But I
Yeah.
think because it has that horror thing going on, I'm like, I can roll with it to a certain degree. Because
Yeah.
I also know that horror's done much fucking worse. And so has anime, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'd say at times this does border a little bit on hentai.
Yeah.
But I think
gets
it's
kinda close,
It
yeah.
does. There was way too uncomfortable of a close-up of Maki having something rammed into her mouth. That I was just
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I've seen this elsewhere.
Just gonna out yourself like that?
We've talked about it before
Shut
on
up.
the podcast.
Shaun, do you want to say something, or should you know? Shaun?
I retract my statement.
Okay, that's very smart. Very smart. Yeah, that made me fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah, that made me
Yeah,
uncomfortable
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
So I was like,
Ugh.
I had seen this before and was still uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I was
fair.
tempted to just skip it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. I just, some of the tropes I hate, which I understand why they're a trope, is man, woman meet, they like each other, and they're willing to sacrifice anything to save each
Yeah.
other. I'm like, I wouldn't give a shit. No offense. But it's like, oh, fuck, partner. Oh, well. Can I get a new one?
Oh no. Anyway.
Anyway, it just, they make you think they care so much for someone they just met.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
also hate that, like, he goes to save her because, like, obviously, that's who he's been tasked to,
yeah.
see the situation through with. So they obviously have, like, an obligation to each other. He goes to save her, and then they're like, oh, why the fuck did you do that? And it's like, bruh!
How dare you save your fucking co-worker?
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
I mean, he does kind of demand on his little Giuseppe. He's like, you go there, I'll go there.
It's very clear that Giuseppe can fend for fucking self.
He's
though.
fucking fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Still!
He's in a safe house.
Yeah, but how safe was the first safe house?
To be fair, they went to a fucking hotel the last time.
Yeah,
so
this is a
that's
full-on
on them.
like spiritual
Yeah, but they
base
said
thingy.
the hotel was also on the spiritual whatever.
And there's also like 50 other guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair.
So,
That just reminded me, the safe house, the spiritual healer world.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got the same
Comatage.
vibes.
Yeah.
I was
It's
like-
kind of comatage.
That's it.
the
That's it
therapy.
right there. It was just a trip.
Yeah.
It was also a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, story-wise, I think it's better than
Yeah.
Demon City, but it made me very uncomfortable.
No, I get that. And I'd say as like a horror piece, it's maybe doing its job, but at the same time, I
Yeah.
think I have this issue where there's a lot of dark fantasy stuff, especially when it comes to manga and anime, that use rape as a plot device far too often.
I don't like that.
It is constantly done in Berserk. It's done here in Wicked City. Dark fantasy. Even I'm not just saying it's a Japanese issue. It was a big issue for dark fantasy in English speaking territories
Absolutely,
as well.
yeah.
Sorry, Sean. Just
You
kept
kicked me.
yeah, I think that was too often used as a plot device, and it just never added anything
No, 'cause
realistically.
To me, it doesn't add anything. I would rather have someone see just cuffed up and like being fucking slapped and kicked.
Yeah.
That to me has more impact than being triple raped.
Because like it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap shot.
It's low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
It's easy to be like, oh, as a man, he has to protect her honor, and she's being raped.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, okay, you're just doing this for shock value.
Yeah,
and
like
it makes me uncomfortable, and it takes me out of the story. And if you would have just been like, no, we shot her in the foot, I'm like, oh no, he must save her.
Yeah, because like when you see that half your brain is taken up with, you're literally just doing this to shock me.
Yeah,
and while,
yeah.
Of course, it's making me uncomfortable. I know it's purely just for like cheap value. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not to say that like it can't be like an effective thing to do, but like it's very like specific. I think
Yeah.
you can't just
Put it
throw it out like Wicked City does.
No, 100%.
Because like when I think of maybe like decently effective uses of it as at least the first remake of The Hills Have Eyes, and it's just to kind of show how deranged and like fucked up this family is because of the constant inbreeding and radiation or whatever it is that they have been exposed to and stuff. So yeah, like it's yeah.
Scores.
This one I'd probably say like a 7.5 or an 8. Just I think the vibes are a bit stronger in this one in terms of
Creepiness.
Yeah, and I like the kind of there's more moment to moment things that happen in terms of like cool creature design or cool like something visually cool happens, whereas I think Demon City is a bit more kind of level.
Yeah.
I said earlier that like it's sort of hard for me to really pick one over the other, so I guess I'm kind of sticking with another 6.5.
Okay,
just
fair
the
enough.
same sort of score.
Yeah. I think for me, I'd say a 6. So better than Demon City, but it just cheap shots.
Yeah,
there's a
definitely
lot
some
more.
cheap shots. I'd say symptom of the era.
Maybe
Yeah.
like
As
higher
much as
highs but
anything else.
lower lows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like I'm not gonna say I can ignore the lower lows because you can't.
Nah, you can really
I
can't,
think
but
the strength of everything around it though is like much better.
Yeah.
So yeah.
there's more of a stronger structure there.
Yeah.
I think the world building is just stronger in Wicked City.
Oh yeah. I think they establish a much more interesting
Yeah.
world to play around with, and they also create like I think the style also fits slightly better to what they're doing in Wicked City, where like it feels almost like a police drama at times.
Yeah. Like a buddy cop.
Yeah. Detective story.
Yeah.
And
Columbo's gonna come in any second.
I'd like to have seen more like adapt maybe more of the novels or something like that. Maybe that's what I'd like to see Kawajiri come back and do.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm not sure how that would translate to like current,
Yeah.
maybe
change a few things here and there, but
I more mean like, content wise, you would probably
Absolutely,
have to
but
adjust, but like in terms of his style, I don't know how well it would translate to
like
modern animation.
yeah.
Because the industry's vastly different now. One, these productions would have taken a lot of time, probably a lot of crunch, but also there's something about committing a film like this to film compared to committing it digitally.
Yeah.
That I think the appearance would maybe not be as strong.
Yeah. It's just a different sort of structure in the industry.
Yeah, I think it's like when people talk about, like getting a new adaptation of Berserk or something like that.
You can't really do it.
Yeah, there's certain things where I think the time in the industry where that could have happened has come and gone.
Yeah.
Berserk 1997 is the closest thing that we'll ever get to like a really good adaptation. And I mean, it is a really good adaptation of that manga.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like a hot take, but I think I'd say the same for like the original Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, like I think they can keep trying to do new stuff with it, but Arise was shit. The really standout stuff for Ghost in the Shell was Ghost in the Shell and Standalone Complex, the first TV series thing that they did. And those two are very of their era. Ghost in the Shell's very 90s, and then Standalone Complex is very kind of like politically charged mid 2000s.
Okay.
So those both work. And I think the time for any of that's kind of moved.
Past,
I don't think that we have the same I think it's the same with like Hollywood and stuff, where we don't have the same creatively charged industries that we used to. So I think just the time for them's come and gone.
Yeah, maybe there will be another time.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
I think everything's a little too clean now as well, and not in the sense of like politically or content or anything like that. Just simply like if we're talking how things look, it's all a little
like,
too clean.
All moved to like digital, and that's very uniform and like it's sort of quality.
Yeah.
Whereas like film had that grain.
So like just to kind of quickly touch on one of the Napcast things we're going to talk about later today, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The grain of that film is so, I think, critical to how that film feels.
It makes that film.
Yeah. So, you know, they did remake it, but like I think it was the early 2000s, so you still had a little bit of that there. Whereas now I think
moving out.
Yeah. Whereas I think now if you shot something like that, everything's just far too clean. We're not just shooting at the resolution that we're putting out. We're shooting at 4K, 6K, 8K, or 12K.
Yeah.
You're shooting at such a high resolution that when you bring the shelf down to whatever you're outputting,
it's what like you're editing and stuff. Yeah.
It's far too crisp an image. I think for certain things, horror just does not work the same way anymore, and I think that's a big thing about it.
I think it's a good factor in why modern horror is so shit.
They also stop throwing in god awful CGI as well,
and stop overly relying on jump scares for fuck's sake.
We return to the stylish world of Kawajiri and Midnight Eye Goku, written by Buichi Terusawa, Ryuzo Nakanashi, directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, music by Kazuhiko. His last name's disappeared from the document.
Oh no!
Give me a second.
Redacted. We can't lose it this early on.
Kazuhiko Toyama and Yukihide Takekawa. Animation production by Madhouse, based on the manga by Buichi Terusawa. I've written that twice. I don't know what's happening with this document. Our last Kawajiri title, I think, because the dude's done some amount of work, and not a lot of it's been directing. So I kind of need to draw the line somewhere.
Fair.
And here's a pretty good point, because I think this is most of the ones I'd say are well and truly his style.
You can really feel it when you watch all of them.
Because just as a reminder, he did Vampire Hunter D.
Vampire Hunter D.
One of the cities.
Both of the cities.
Both of the cities.
Yeah, Wicked City and Demon City. Cyber City, Oedo.
Oh, he did 3 cities.
The 3 cities.
He did 3 cities.
This is going to be one hell of an EX episode.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
And if you're watching this from the EX episode, hi!
We've actually ended up doing most of his stuff in season 3, I think. So what? Because
season 2.
Season 2, yes, sorry. I'm thinking ahead of myself already.
We're there.
Season 1 we did Vampire Hunter.
But near the end of season 1, if I remember right.
And then this season we've done Wicked City, Demon City, Cyber City, Oedo, and now Goku Midnight Eye. He has a couple other directorial things, but from what I've got from speaking to people is like they're co-directorships, so he's not quite
purely
as
his.
and it doesn't come through, I think, in the way that we'd expect it to from having watched everything else.
He has a style.
He does have a style, and I'm not sure if I dislike it.
There's something about it.
But
I will say I love it. It does have its flaws.
Yeah.
I think like purely in the fact that it's from the 80s, there's a lot of baggage that comes with that.
Yes, especially in this one, which I think we'll talk about.
I'm not sure if this is the worst one for that. I would say one of the cities where she constantly has the threat and at one point does actually get raped.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like
Ninja Scroll's also Kawajiri.
Oh yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
I knew there was another one.
Yeah, no, it's like when you talk about like graphicness, as in things like a rape scene.
Yeah.
That was definitely worse than one of those. But this one, again, we have some mix between woman
and motorbike
and thing. One being Peacock, which you're like, okay,
cool,
whatever, I guess. And then motorbike shows up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like having seen a lot of stuff from the 80s. Not just Japanese media, but like our, you know, Western media as well, is it's like we were always doing wacky shit like that back then.
But this is okay. So this lady is dressed in underwear. That's it.
Tits out.
Tits out.
Yeah. Not a single female character in the first one anyway.
No.
Keeps her top on.
Has a motorbike saddle.
Yeah.
As well as the steering thing. And laser eyes. Or
laser mouth.
Laser mouth.
Also, I think a robot. I think
she's some sort of demon. I don't know. It was very unclear.
I think when her head's cut off, you see
the mechanical.
Oh
parts inside. Yeah.
Still, also she crawls around.
Yeah.
And at
I
some
think that's
point,
where I got
someone
demon
rides
from.
the motorbike.
Yeah.
Which sounds so weird.
Yeah.
And I promise it's not sexual. They're just utilizing her motorcycle.
I don't even know if it's supposed to be sexual.
It's not.
No.
Not with the little gremlin that's riding her.
I don't know. Some people could be into that.
Maybe.
It was some awakening for some.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely like, because that's the first. Because it's two separate.
Bits. And I think more so than Cyber City, very much 1 and 2.
Yes.
Like they're very different. In that you could watch the first one and never bother watching the second one, whereas I think with Cyber City you kind of want to watch.
It was a continuation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because the first one is like this kind of like pulpy crime noir.
Yeah.
Like, I really like the vibe of it. And then the second episode is just actually batshit insane.
It's so chaotic when it's difficult to try and follow the story in the second part. Because I kind of went in thinking, oh, maybe it'll be a continuation. He's looking for the person who gave him his midnight eye.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense. Because we don't know, and he doesn't know.
No.
Yeah, it just
who
happens.
gave him the eye where he can access all the computers. If he wants to, he can send missiles.
Yeah, he could destroy humanity.
Yeah, he has access to the missiles in both the US and Soviet.
He won't do it though, but he could.
You watch that now, and he's like, "You're connected to every computer in the world," and it's like, that's just the internet.
Yeah, I had that moment where I was just like, "Oh, they're just talking about the internet." Like a few years before it happens.
Yeah, no, I was like, "Oh, so impressive! I can open all the doors." I'm like, I don't think that's how it works, but sure, whatever, whatever. 80s.
Impressive.
But what a guy! I want to talk. Let's talk about Goku.
Let's talk about Goku just for a bit. Yeah.
Let me just visually describe this man. So
Melina liked the fan service from.
Yeah.
You get introduced to him. You're like, wow, that's a big boy. Fair enough. He's wearing a skinny tie.
Yep.
And blazer. You're like, oh, undershirt? No. No. So he's
Vestless.
pecs out. Skinny tie, which is arguably so funny. But at some point it's revealed he takes his blazer off. And it's like, he has a fucking vest underneath.
Yeah, it's like a gym suit or something.
Like, yes, they over-sexualize the women, but boy, this man,
they do try and balance it out. I will give them that.
They tried.
They try is the key word there. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I love how unserious that is. No one ever mentions it. Like, can you put some fucking clothes on? My God.
I also want to point out that, like, watching this a second time, having done the Akira Toriyama episode where we talked about Dragon Ball and it being based on Journey to the West, Goku is straight up, for some reason, Goku from Journey to the West. He's got the pole thing,
extendable pole,
the extendable pole, and
which I love, by the way.
Also a gun, maybe.
there was another thing I remember watching it and going, oh yeah, he is just, you know,
it's him.
I don't know why. And he got I was like, but he doesn't have the pole, and then he, you know, loses his eye and gets the robotic one, and then is given the pole, the power pole.
The power pole.
That's what it's called in Dragon Ball. I want to point out.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, that sounds like a fucking 80s NES peripheral. The power pole.
And then he like fully uses it like the pole in Dragon Ball, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, but you know those extendable like magician sticks you have? That's it. That's basically it.
That as a weapon.
But it can get so fucking long.
Yeah.
Like he's using it to like jump from building to building at some point.
He can shoot electricity out of it.
That one time.
One time.
Just once.
Once, yeah.
You can only do it once.
And he just used it, extend, pierce through.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gets a lot of mileage out of that move.
Oh, yeah.
He
no,
also
absolutely.
then puts it in his gun holster too.
Seems dangerous.
It also just fully sticks out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how it's staying in there.
yeah.
Magnets.
He's controlling with the
yeah,
eye.
no, of course. The
Yeah.
eye is
Yeah.
access. It's so aggressively 80s.
it is.
Yeah,
It's
the
incredible.
fact that they call it's like a tiny microcomputer, and it's like, guys, you don't need to say that.
Yeah.
Wait, like the first episode definitely it made sense
Mhm.
story wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah, you know, he kind of dies, he gets the eye,
Mhm.
yada yada.
Narratively, it flows very
it
well.
flows
Yeah.
well.
I'd say it's the
Yeah.
one that makes the most sense from Kawajiri. Of the,
yeah.
you know, take Cyber City away because it's a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the rest of them, I think it's the one that makes most narrative sense to me.
yeah.
Yes.
But it
Um,
does leave you hanging, like, oh, knowing there is a second episode, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see why he got the eye.
Yeah, yeah.
All that.
Like he'd find that out and stuff now.
It's like, no, get my brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Brother
Who's
slash
different
son.
woman who looks like woman from
First-
one of the
yeah.
cities.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at her and was like, are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
Aren't you the girl from, was it like Demon City or Wicked
It's
City?
one of
the
them.
cities.
It's
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah. And it's just a whole new thing that doesn't try to further his story.
No, not because the second episode is pretty much not about him
No.
at all.
No.
And there's an interesting story in there, as
Absolutely,
weird
yeah.
as it is.
Yeah.
But it would work as a completely different OVA.
Mm-hmm.
Not Midnight Aigoku at all.
Yeah, no, it just, like, again, very interesting story, but they just package it in a way that
Yeah.
doesn't work.
It's not as interesting to watch.
No, and I kind of was left with just thinking, like, oh, are these all new people? Because I think it
Mhm.
is. Like, it's a full
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't meet anyone
from the
from
first.
the first
No.
episode.
So it's just fully disconnected, not a continuation.
Yup.
It's
Yeah.
just as if the first episode was an introduction, and then it's like, now we have all the filler.
Yeah.
Now it's more like you're now in the mid-season of a show.
Yeah. Because it was like, what I remember when we talked about Cyber City, I was like, oh, this really sets you up in a way you were like, I wish this was a TV show where there was
Yeah.
more to see.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, like, the first episode leaves you in that way.
Yeah.
And you watch the second episode and go, did we skip like 12 episodes?
Yeah.
I had to check at some point and be like, I downloaded the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Like, I feel like I missed something. But there's just a lot
Yeah.
in the second one where you're just trying to, because as soon as you get over the fact that, okay, so it's fully disconnected, whatever. Like, okay, so this lady wants to find her brother.
Yep.
That's not her brother.
No.
It's her baby.
Who's a clone
Who's a
of,
Who's a
clone
clone.
of Military Man.
who was
Yeah.
birthed in a tube
Yeah.
after a month?
A 30,
week.
They say 30 days,
30
but like he woke up like
days.
a week ago.
He woke
Yeah.
up like a week ago, yeah.
I gave him fake memories, so
Uh-huh.
he believed that the lady was his sister.
Yeah.
But he needs to get
drugs.
Drugs
'cause
to not go
otherwise-
batshit.
Yeah.
To not become an animal.
a beast monster.
not-
Beastification is what it says in
Yeah.
the subtitles.
Beastified.
Yeah.
Gotta give him like the neutralizer so he doesn't separ off the whole city.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he even becomes like very beastified.
No, he
By
just
the
sort of
end.
growls a little and
Yeah.
like kills some
Like,
guys.
he's a bulky boy, but no more
Mhm.
bulky than Goku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just,
And by the end, Goku's not even fighting him.
no.
No.
Like he ends up getting killed by the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has some generator in him. That's the other
Yeah,
thing
like
I
a
remember.
barrier generator or something.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever the fuck that means.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's just a fucking shield around him.
I swear I've heard barrier generator in some other sci-fi thing, but I don't think it was anything to do with
yeah.
whatever the fuck's going on here.
No.
It felt like they were just trying to push some sci-fi shit. It's like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
were born in an incubator.
The
Like,
thing that got me is
okay.
all of this happens like in the last 20 minutes
Yeah.
of this like 50
The first
minute.
half is so slowly paced as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you have the first episode, which visually has a lot of elements that are similar to Akira.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then the second episode just fully leans into that, but
Mhm.
in like the same way the movie lent into kind of becoming nonsense.
Yeah.
In the later part of it, where you just can't really follow
What the fuck's going
what
on?
the fuck's going on, and then they suddenly and Midnight Goku just like lore dump
Yeah.
and in the last 15 minutes,
Yeah.
20
minutes.
Absolutely.
Because I remember like checking and going, wow, they're revealing all of this, and then it's like the final like actual battle
Yeah.
with the general who the brother is a clone of.
Yeah.
Which
Which I want to say is not an excuse to say that the general has a character, because he doesn't.
no, he doesn't.
No.
No. And like that last battle happens like 3 minutes from the end. It's like 90 seconds after that the credits roll.
Yeah.
It is insane.
You wanna know what it honestly reminded me of when like the general turned out to be like the actual antagonist right at the end? It reminded me of the fucking thing with Zelda, where like the main villain of like a Zelda game, or like a different villain of a Zelda game, will like have all this build up, and then the last like third or so it just gets hijacked by Ganon.
Yeah, that's
what it felt like to me. Like, oh, we're just completely ignoring the villain you've set up now and just putting in this one.
It's like when you've played through the Midgar section of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah.
And you go from having, especially if you play Remake, where you have a 40-hour game that has Shinra, the company, as a protagonist, and it's all about environmentalism.
The story's all structured around that.
And then you reach like the last hour of gameplay, and Sephiroth becomes the main fucking antagonist.
Yes.
Some guy who, in Remake, they actually did mention him a lot more. But if you're playing the original, where it's like the first 8 hours of the game, I think.
Honestly, it depends, because when I was playing that for the first time, it was only like the first 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
Which I feel is a bit better,
Yeah,
because that's like a 30-hour game.
Yeah. And you go through that, and it's like he's never mentioned
and
until
in the end they're like, it's him.
Yeah. And then you're like, okay, now what am I
whatever.
doing for the next 26, 27 hours?
Of course, the difference is everything after that is solely focused on Sephiroth, so that by the end of the game it feels natural and it makes sense. But like, Goku Midnight doesn't have all that.
No.
It just stops.
Yeah.
Does Goku sleep with a sister? Or was it another lady? He
No,
sleeps with someone.
Yeah, he just randomly sleeps with like
A lady.
the sister mum person.
Yeah, sister mom.
Yeah, that's
Which
right.
came the fuck out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
what's
that's
it- yeah.
after he's like, oh, you went really quickly from protect him to kill him,
Yeah.
and then they just start kissing.
Yeah, they just
and-
kiss.
Yeah, she's like crying. I
Yeah.
think.
Like,
And-
she's having a distressed moment, and then suddenly
Wah!
sex.
It's so 80s, isn't it? The way that's
Yeah,
done.
it's like the sex is comfort.
Yeah.
No.
No,
Can we talk?
Yeah.
Can we fucking communicate?
This could technically be a crime. This doesn't feel like consent.
No.
I love this period of like animation, because like this is when they
I see
had like insane budgets because of the bubble period and stuff, but there was so much baggage of like the way, I can't say we were any better here in the West, but like the way a lot of the female characters are treated in animation around this time
Was complete shit.
was complete shit. But at the same time, you have the flip side of like Zeta Gundam was on TV at this point in time, and like there's a couple of characters who most of the female characters are really like well done in that, and it's like such a flip of the coin
Of what we've watched from this era of anime, like even like the other stuff we've watched from, oh god, I flagged on his name, the director
of this.
Yeah.
Kawajiri.
Yeah. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, sure.
Close enough, don't worry about it.
Yeah, even like the other female characters, like sure they weren't the strongest, but they at least had like a function and they still felt like characters. But in this one, it felt so apparent to me that every single female character was like sort of disposable.
I will say I'm not going to put that down to Kawajiri. I'm going to put it down to Buichi Terasawa, who
he wrote the manga
and co-wrote the screenplay.
Okay,
I think this
didn't,
is maybe just how he
Views women.
views women.
Because I did say to
Great.
you, like, I didn't say it was a director thing. I said the writer clearly had a fucking problem.
Yeah. I think that because if I look at what else, I'll quickly check what else
While you're doing that,
Terasawa's done.
I just want to say, I'm bringing this up particularly for, is it Yoko in like the first one? Like the policewoman.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I thought she was going to be like a huge part of the first one. Like I was expecting her to be a cool character because she's introduced so well. Like she's at the shooting range. She's competent.
Absolutely.
She's like the action girl. And I was like, okay, you feel like you're going to be a great character.
Sorry, I heard the car outside and I was confused.
You feel like you're going to be a great character. In the next 20 minutes, she's brainwashed and then comatose for the rest of it.
Yeah.
And she's never heard from again.
Yeah, no, you're right. I kind of forgot about her because
Yeah, exactly.
They introduce her and you're like, hell yeah! And
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah, and then she's gone.
yeah, no, she's gone.
Brainwashed and then disposed of.
Yeah, because I like the concept in the first one even that you had the peacock lady
Yeah.
who could kind of hypnotize people to kill
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, like
Which,
that was
you know,
cool.
Yeah, that was such like a cool concept, and they really played with that so well that it was like almost an instigating
Yeah.
part for Goku, where it's like, no, I know you're killing people. No, they're just committing suicide.
Yeah.
That's not on me.
Yeah.
Like that's interesting.
Yeah, and then we have Get My Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's my son.
Yeah.
He's also a clone.
Mother,
also a clone.
mother sister. Also, can we talk about the fact that like before we find that out, it just hard cuts to like the brother son like straight up fucking a hooker,
Yeah.
and like then he kills her
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
mid, you know,
Coitus.
coitus
Because roid rage.
because Royd rage.
Beheaded.
Beheads,
Yeah.
he
Like it's a
beheads
clean
her.
cut.
Fully beheads
It's not
her.
the first beheading. he
No,
does
it's not.
either.
No,
So I don't.
That's
wanna
what happened
say
to
it
Motorcycle
was
Lady.
Expected at this point.
but not when it happens.
No.
No.
I almost forgot about that. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so.
Women, am I right, fellas?
That's the fact that that is the end message of part 2 is also what I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah. It's just they feel like two so separate,
Yeah.
and like with Cyber City Oedo didn't have that as much.
No.
It still felt a bit imbalanced.
Yeah.
Where one is clearly like better than the other, but this is just I could have lived with just the first one existed.
Yeah.
For Cyber City, it felt like for me, it felt like that one got better as like the episodes went on, whereas this one just took a clean cut into batshit.
Yeah. Also, you mentioned the girl Yoko from the first one, like she goes into a coma and we're like never hear from her. She actually dies
Oh.
because that's what instigates him to like actually pursue
Yeah.
the guy, because like he's
I must have
told
missed that.
by the chief of police, like, you know, don't, she's the last member, like we don't want to endanger her any further. And then like a scene later he finds out she's died, and then he goes,
I don't know how I missed that.
it's just like a quick line of dialogue.
Ah, okay.
So and that's why he goes up to the roof and does like the satellite hack. And
Yeah. That does explain that whole sequence because he is pissed. In
yeah,
that sequence, but it's
he's
cool.
Yeah. I love that because it's the
Attack
first.
satellites.
It's the first time where like that omnipotent camera shot of a character
Yeah.
who's then somehow talking to another character makes sense contextually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that happens so much, especially in anime, where
Yeah,
they're just
yeah.
showing like clearly a thing from an angle that you could never feasibly have in real life.
You know I can't hear you, right?
Yeah. Or it's like you know, like an over the head shot of someone like running on the
Yeah.
news, and it's like, no, you're not gonna get
No.
that, you know. Or the I think, is it Miss Marvel, where she's like falling from the like roof, and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
lands on her things, and it's like on the news it's clearly shot on like a film camera.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
news
yeah.
cameras do not look like that.
No.
It's just the same shot we've seen previously, and it's like, come on, guys.
At least try.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put a few filters over it.
Yeah,
Try.
or
Yeah.
like get a different angle so that
Yeah.
we're not, because it does kind of pull you out of it.
It
Sorry,
does,
that's a weird
absolutely.
thing for
Yeah,
me.
no,
no,
no.
Tangent
It's a good
I get it,
comparison,
I
I'd
get
say.
it,
Yeah.
But here it makes sense.
Yeah. So weird. Yeah, it's
It has so much potential.
yeah.
And then immediately it's like, no.
Mhm. I
No.
really like the first episode.
Mhm.
It's really high up there. Like it has, like you say, so much potential. And then the second episode, it's just like, how did we go from that to this?
Mhm.
How did you think? Yeah, that's the logical next step
Yeah.
of this.
Because I don't know about you guys, but as soon as you finish the first one, you're like, okay, second one we'll explore. He's like, who made me this
Yeah,
way?
that's
Yeah.
sort of what you
Either
expect.
I want to thank them or I want to
Mhm.
kill them.
Yeah.
Either way, we still don't know.
No.
Yeah.
We never
Someone
find out.
fished him from a river,
Yeah.
gave him a microcomputer eye for free,
Yeah,
For free.
for free.
and a funny stick,
No strings attached either, apparently.
Yeah.
and just kind of dumps him
Yeah.
in his car. or something?
And
Where was he?
No, he was on a park bench.
On a park bench. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume it was just Major from
I'm
Ghost
gonna
in the
assume
Shell.
he's also missing a kidney.
Yes.
But he just doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Like, I'll be in the shower, just see stitches. I was like, oh, that's weird.
Fuck? I mean, fair enough, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to give up something.
Yeah.
Like, there's just some doctor
Yeah.
operating.
Mm-hmm.
Giving people these high-tech
Yeah.
fucking-
You have been chosen.
And then also apparently in the second episode he just finds an interdimensional missile.
That made me fucking laugh out loud the
Like-
moment I read
Yeah.
that. Interdimensional
I just
missile.
kind of was like, I'm just gonna ignore you just said that.
Yeah. It's like he pulls out the fucking Batmobile and then he's
Yeah.
like
No, it's not the Batmobile. It's the fucking car from Knight
it's
Rider.
it's Kit from Knight Rider. That's actually a better comparison. And then he gets shot at and it's an interdimensional missile and then the car gets fucked up in the next scene.
Yeah. So why did we get it?
Why did we go through that?
Yeah. It's like, aha! I have a thing! Let me try! Ah, failed.
It's the MacGuffin.
Ah, shit.
And
Okay,
then he
square one.
sees Mother Sister and is like, fuck, I better not shoot him. Even though it's an
She cares.
interdimensional missile. Surely.
Smart missile.
And then the car gets fucked up. Then he tries to fire it again. And I don't actually remember what comes of that.
Same.
Mm.
I don't know. They didn't
Guy
establish
died.
it well enough for us to
No.
remember.
Nah.
Because the car's in a wreck and he's like fighting, I don't know, brother, son,
Colonel Man.
or general. And he's like trying to fire the other one. And I don't remember if he succeeds or not. I just
couldn't care for it either.
No.
I think he does.
I'm
I think
assuming.
that's just how he dies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Trying to remember.
I think it gets wrecked and then it just
Wait,
it just gets up and it's fine.
Oh, okay.
at some point, the general guy, he's like buff boy ripped, isn't he?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's the
His brother's son's clone.
yeah,
Well, he's the original.
he's the original.
Papa/brother.
Yeah. No,
It's implied.
he's dad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's implied that
He's
his-
like he's who adopted her, which that's creepy as
yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's adopted her, but he also wanted to. No, it's
Well,
a
he
different
does.
guy. Isn't?
No.
Her
Yeah.
actual brother's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the general, I think, adopted her.
Yeah.
Because you have that scene where she's being taken advantage of.
Mm.
Oh, that's a different guy.
Yeah,
that's,
okay,
that's a different
good.
guy.
He
And-
dies. He gets beheaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
My
love
brother's son.
where we are first
Yeah.
introduced to that scene.
Yeah.
And then later we are reintroduced to it, and it's like, oh, the brother was standing there, like I threw up. He's just
Yeah, like-
standing in the doorway.
Yeah. Is that true? I don't care that you're trying to rape my sister. Is that true?
It's like, what the fuck did you do? I don't care what you're about to do, but what have you done already?
What have you done already?
Like, continue by all means,
I don't care.
because clearly
Like this.
I don't care. Because later on I will do it as well.
What?
No, he does. He does try to, either that or like Military Man tries to.
I think Military Man does because he's
Yeah.
father,
Papa father.
Papa father.
I didn't like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much potential.
Oh.
But they then just no.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
we gotta rank both of them like
Separate.
differently.
Oh yeah. I'm giving a
Absolutely.
score of 6.
Yeah.
I will say on my anime list they are separate entries.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Because they would have
Yeah.
been released separately on
Yeah.
like VHS or whatever. So you can score them. It's acceptable to score them separately.
It is acceptable.
Do we want to go to scores? 'Cause
I don't have much more to say.
No.
No, I feel like I
we-
got all my
we've
points
touched on
out.
everything.
I
I'd
really
recommend
like
first
the
one.
end theme, the credits.
Yes.
That is
The
Oh, that's
score?
great. Yeah.
score's really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
synthy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Amazing.
80s.
Yeah.
Yup.
Love that.
But yeah, other than that, I got nothing. So both of these came out in 1989.
Mhm.
First one came out January 27th, and then 2 came out December 22nd.
Oh, imagine having waited that long.
I was just thinking.
Oh, going to the
Oh.
fucking VHS store and picking it up and going, oh my god, I love
Finally.
the first one. I can't wait. And then you put it in and you watch it and go, what the
Where the fuck is motorcycle lady?
What happened?
Why did we
happened?
bring her back?
It's like if you popped in Two Towers and it was shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So it was The Hobbit.
Yeah.
scores.
I'd give the first episode an 8.
Yeah,
I
that's
think an
fair.
8
I was
out of 10.
thinking like a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 7 as well for the first.
Second episode.
4.
Ah, 5, 6. I'm round about that.
I think 4 for me because I do like like some of the action scenes.
Yeah,
are
that's my
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
It's
that's
like
why it's a 4.
the production
Yeah.
value is really
Like,
still good.
Visually looks good.
Mhm.
Story wise, just absolutely not.
I'd
It's
say
not
visually this is
interesting.
like Kawajiri at like his
Yeah.
best. There is so much of it that's just like visually amazing.
Yeah.
The design of the city is
Mhm.
like breathtaking. Like
Yeah.
I could use that like as wallpaper fodder.
I also
Can't
think
believe
it's his.
that was 2014.
Yeah,
I know, right? Every time that came up, that took me out at like a little bit.
Oh.
I also think he really nails like his use of like contrast because that's something he does a lot. Is like
yeah.
things contrast a lot and it makes everything pop. Some stuff it gets a bit much, but here I think is like it's like perfected. Like when he's holding the biker woman's head and it's like it's gone all dark and then you just see that light up
Yeah.
Yeah.
as
That
he's
was
like
nice.
about to kill the. That's a great way.
That was
to,
cool as
to
fuck,
kill
yeah.
the villain. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
She's a fire in her laser.
Yeah. Second episode 5 or 6. It's fine. It's fucking nonsense,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
yeah,
it's
I'd
just-
still just give it like a 4.
Yeah,
personally.
because it comes after something that is so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
You're just
that's fair.
disappointed.
It sort
At
of
the
stings a
end of
bit
it.
more.
Yeah.
Because the potential.
It could have been so good.
Absolutely.
So yeah. That's Midnight Eye Goku, and with that, we say farewell to Yoshiaki Kawajiri. He's still working. He's doing a lot of stuff. Like
Yeah, I was about to ask.
he's,
Is he rip or not?
No, he's
I thought he
alive.
was, I'll be honest.
He's mostly doing storyboard stuff at the moment. So
Ah,
he's storyboarded for, I believe, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Demon Slayer. He's done Attack on Titan.
That's all good shit, though.
Yeah, he's done a lot of like the really big shows. I don't know why he's just doing storyboards now. He's clearly a really good director. So
Maybe he's just tapped out.
maybe, yeah. He. I mean, we do have to remember everything we've watched from him, except Ninja Scroll, was done in the 90s.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Ninja
80s.
Scroll and Vampire Hunter, and everything else is done in the 80s,
Yeah, so
which
you
is
know.
an insane,
Yeah.
insane thing to do.
That's why I was surprised he was still working.
Yeah. So I fully don't blame him for stepping back and just doing
Yeah,
storyboards at that point.
Still good shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's time to get punked in the cyberest of cities in Cyber City Oedo 808, directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, written by Akinori Endo, music by Kaz Toyama for the original Japanese and American dubs, and Roy McFarlane for the UK dub. Animation production by Madhouse, originally released on VHS in Japan on June 21st and December 28th, 1990, and October 4th, 1991. Cyber City Oedo is available in the UK on Blu-ray from Anime Limited, and in the US from Discotek. So yeah, anyway, I think we'll start with Cyber City. It's the biggest part here.
I do want to
undertake.
say, by the way, this is a Christmas special.
This is the
we're
Christmas
doing.
special. Hello, Merry Christmas. Welcome.
Christmas.
Yeah, it's a Christmas special. I am wearing a Christmas jumper, and that's
wearing
how I'm
Christmas
celebrating it.
t-shirt.
I am also wearing
No, you're
Christmas.
not.
No, you're
I
not.
don't.
Liar.
Sean,
She's deceiving you.
Sean is wearing a
Loki Christmas jumper.
Loki Christmas jumper.
Because we've just watched Loki season.
Yeah.
Well, and sort of enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
Kinda.
better than season 1.
Yeah. The last episode really saved it.
Yeah, and I'm wearing an Iron Maiden Christmas t-shirt.
Which is fitting because Cyber City makes me want to fucking rock out. Especially the UK dub. Holy shit.
So, I kind of late in the game suggested that we watch the UK dub because I forgot to bring it up. I kept forgetting. So yeah, there's obviously a difference between the original Japanese version and the UK version, but all three of us have seen a bit of both.
Yeah,
So-
I think because I went dub, sub, dub.
Okay,
so like
so-
first episode dubbed, second episode sub, third episode dubbed.
I did first episode subbed and then episodes 2 and 3
Okay.
dubbed.
Sub dub.
Sub dubbed.
Which We all went this in different ways. I like
Yeah.
that.
We all seen the best episode dubbed, at least, and that was episode
Yeah.
3.
I have to
but-
say,
yeah.
the opening theme is so funny in
And
in the sub.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is.
Like it's been stuck in my head. There's the endless game, silly game,
yeah.
and I had to rewatch it just because I couldn't believe
It's
Silly game.
It's such a different tone as well
Oh,
compared to the
absolutely,
UK.
because
Yeah.
the UK one is so fucking metal.
Yeah.
I got pumped up just from like the opening,
silly game.
and then I got to the sub and like the second one, and suddenly silly game.
Yeah.
The fucking whiplash.
It's very poppy, and then suddenly you're assaulted with rock and guitars for the UK dub.
I can't tell which one I like more. I'm gonna be honest.
I kind of prefer, and I don't know if it's because when I originally watched it, I watched it with the UK dub. Like that kind of just cemented it for me as like the best way. I still like the Japanese soundtrack.
I think
It's
by
good.
like the third one, I'd more solidified on the UK one, but I'm still mostly unsure to be honest. They're
Yeah.
both very different, but like they're both really good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Japanese end theme is better, though. I will say that.
Oh yeah, I really like the Japanese end theme. I think for the is it the third episode? One of the episodes, I think the UK version fits better because in the Japanese version it kind of starts playing before the credits roll, whereas I think it's better with like the silence that the UK version has before it comes in with the end.
That would make
theme.
sense for episode 3's ending.
Yeah. So
Let's actually get into
yeah,
it.
yeah. So, yeah, where do we start? So
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
With the worst of the 3 main characters as
Yeah.
the central guy.
Yeah.
I think, as I said to Shaun last night after he watched it, is Sengoku would probably be the character that grew on you if this was like a full TV series.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
You'd grow to love his asshole.
yeah,
I grow to
think
tolerate
he's
him.
Yeah.
I think he's the noble asshole, and
like so,
a sense,
yeah.
like
he's sort of got a heart of gold in there somewhere.
Yeah.
He's got the veneer of an asshole, but he's always kind of gonna do the right thing, because the whole thing of episode 1 is that he's wanting to save the girl in the lift, and then she practically never comes up again.
Yeah, I was gonna say that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
By the
Yeah.
way, that love interest, and then she just sort of pops up very occasionally,
Yeah.
like right after.
Doesn't she get stuck in a lift again at the end in the last episode?
No,
It's a different girl.
She's a different girl. She's
Yeah.
going
Oh,
up the
okay,
left
okay. Yeah,
to kill
yeah,
the guy.
yeah.
yeah.
So too many lifts.
Too
and
many
stuck.
girls and lefts.
Yeah,
I know.
you're thinking of the vampire girl
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
who
yeah,
looks
yeah.
very different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she.
wasn't. Maybe I'm just mixing shit up at this point. I don't even know.
I can't remember if she actually pops up in the third episode at all.
She does.
Does she?
Yeah, yeah. I think Benton, which I keep wanting to say Ben 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Benton, I think like contacts her like once or twice.
Yeah, she's very much the woman in the chair.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Again, another character that probably would have worked really well had this been like a full TV series.
Yeah,
been
because
well
her
developed.
because our sort of love interest with Sengoku makes no fucking sense to me because
No.
they barely interact with each other.
Yeah.
I think they mention once like they know each other from academy.
No, his thing is that she's just fresh out of
Oh,
the academy,
yeah,
so he
yeah.
doesn't want her immediately dying.
Yeah, you know that's
Fair
not
enough.
great.
Yeah. So I think I don't know I can't remember how it comes across in the English dub, but I'd say less of a love interest and more of like
A flirtationship sort of thing. Or...
kind of. I think more just the sense of like, well, she's maybe a bit too innocent to die, so let's let
Like a
let's
sister-ish.
Kind
Yeah,
of,
but that
yeah.
makes that final scene in the first
Yeah.
episode kind of weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think for a first episode, because I watched the first and second like after each other, so they're kind of mixed in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
But
Makes sense.
it's fine for the setup, but it's definitely the weakest of the three.
I think it's
Yes.
a strange one to jump in on. I think that
Oh, yeah.
it's because it's very meandering, I think, compared to the other two that are very kind of kinetic. You're moving from one thing to the other.
I also feel like the other two are a lot more character focused on like
Yeah.
their main sort of like spotlight on the one of the three main characters, whereas Sengoku doesn't get that much of a spotlight, even though he's the main character of the guy.
problem with episode 1 is like each episode is character focused on a different character. So you got Sengoku for episode 1, Gogol for episode 2, and Benton for episode 3.
Which I love, by the way. That's a
Yeah.
good way to do
Yeah.
it.
But I think the problem is that because Sengoku is episode 1, it also has the unfortunality of having to also introduce
everybody else, and the whole setup, the whole spiel, the whole
world building and all that.
And it's very much a world building episode.
Yeah, and it is great because it's like if you took Blade Runner but like pumped it up to anime 11, which I fucking jive with so much. Like when the first episode started and we got like that shot where he's looking out on like the space station, I was immediately engrossed and into this already because I was like, this is what I live for right here.
Yeah.
And then he turned out to be like my least favorite character.
Yeah,
but whatever.
That's fair. It's very kind of like, it's straightforward. Even the twist is kind of like,
it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't really land as much.
I was like, because I've seen it before. I was watching it and I'm like, the guy that Sengoku finds is looking for is his subconscious is like still around, and I was like, is his body still there? And then I forgot about the whole like cyber zombie brain thing,
which is what I called it. Yeah,
and I was like, oh yeah, that is actually kind of strange.
What?
It's a little peculiar.
Vampires popping up in the third episode is stranger, but like
Absolutely.
in a way
that came out of nowhere.
And in a way that kind of is done better.
They at least make a point to explain most of the vampire stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get to that more when we talk about that episode in full, but it feels somehow more grounded in the rules of that world compared to the cyber zombie brain that doesn't really get an
because their whole
explanation.
explanation at the end is that they're talking the robot thing. Varsus?
I just called him trash bin.
So they're talking to him and he's just like, the girl is asking like, oh, what do I put in the report, because technically he was already dead. And Varsus is like, I don't know.
Fucking no.
And then Sengoku's like, well, he was already dead, so. And I'm like, this is not an answer, we're just going round in circles here.
He's dead. It's like, yeah, we said that.
We've said this.
Just say clung on to life for like 15 years. There you go.
Oh god. Yeah, episode 1's kind of forgettable in the long run.
It honestly is, because if I try to think of the major plot lines, I'm like, because it's immediately overshadowed by Goggles' episode.
Yeah.
Because Goggles.
Well, they call him Goggle in like the Goggles in the sub, but in the dub he's Goggle.
So
yeah, exactly.
Goggle is the actual name, but I have a feeling Goggles comes from just the way they pronounce.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it is immediately overshadowed by his episode.
I think really looking back on it, the first episode just sort of feels like a sort of, not like a Die Hard tribute, but it sort of feels inspired, like they just want to do like a Die Hard full-out action thing first before they got into the more character pieces of the second two. Because Die Hard's all about, like fighting through like a tower and stuff. You've just searched up Die Hard.
Yeah, I was double checking what year it came out, because I was like, which came first?
Yeah, definitely Die Hard, because that was late 80s.
88, yeah. That's the thing, as we were talking about while I was writing up the introductions here, is like, this is very much the end of the bubble era of Japan, and as like writing the dates down, I'm like, 1990 feels super late for something like this.
Because when I looked this up, when I would look this up like right after watching, I was expecting to be like 87 or something, or like roundabout Demon City's sort of release, which I think was 87 when we checked. We're gonna check right now.
That was
if you want to find a more confident more
Yeah.
confident answer to that, you should check out the previous episode.
You mean like 3 episodes ago?
Yes, exactly. It's still
You should
previous,
check
isn't
out
it?
One of our previous.
Our Halloween special.
Yeah. Watch our stuff.
1988, same year as Die Hard.
Okay, yeah. So, I was expecting that period, but no, it's 1990.
That would have been
1991.
impressive for Kawajiri to have worked on Wicked City, then Demon City within a year of each other, and then also done this
He
as
loves
well.
cities. Loves cities.
I mean, Japanese work culture.
Very true, very true.
We've talked about that also in a previous episode. Sorry.
Yes, the Shinzo Abe one, which is...
He still haunts my nightmares.
I still can't not think of that clip of Kim Jong-un now, where he's like crying, asking the people of North Korea to have babies, and the quote tweet I saw was, he's crying because he knows what happens to Abe. And I was like, oh, that should not be funny.
No, it really shouldn't. If you feel bad about that joke, you can cut this part out of the
Oh no,
episode.
I
No,
won't.
keeping it.
I'll keep it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Episode 2.
episode 2.
Episode 2. There's not much talk about episode 1.
No, Gogol goes on an adventure. He lives in a camper van type thing.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
He's just going around.
Yeah.
He's just vibing.
I feel like it takes a while for this episode to like get its hold.
Yeah.
As well, though.
It's not until not Fujiko comes in.
Yeah.
So Fujiko rating, by the way.
Yeah, they have such a cool androgynous character, and then they overly sexualize all the women.
Well, yeah, it's the 90s.
Yeah, it
but
is
still,
that era.
I saw, because as soon as I saw Benton,
Benton, yeah.
Ben 10.
Ben 10.
As soon as I saw them, I was like, that is so cool, because you're in the beginning, you're like, oh, that's very feminine traits with like heels, with long nails, long
the first sort
hair.
of shot you see of him is him doing like that sort of weird bend down sort of position.
Yeah.
Like
Which I immediately was like, I wonder which one of them is going to go, ooh, woman. Oh, no.
No.
that was me.
I knew it.
and
But I was still cool with that after
Yeah,
the
yeah,
reveal
yeah.
he was a guy. I was like, oh, you're still my favorite character though, just from that.
like absolute amazing character, and then it was just a shame for me to just see, oh, women just don't get their body covered at all.
Yeah, like
Right.
she's got like basically a bra top.
Yeah, like he's looking all cool with his like nice cinched
Biker.
waist and like
Yeah.
cool get up, and then it's like, oh, this is my battle armor as a woman. I'm like, all your organs are like
yeah, like half your leg is like
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. And then all her organs do get.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's there, then she dies. That's kind of her thing.
I genuinely don't know her name.
Part of me's thinking Claire, but I could be wrong.
That sounds familiar. Claire.
I thought, is that not the vampire lady?
That's the thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, the female characters aren't as memorable as they should be. No,
Of course, woman.
woman.
That's not her name. It's just there's just
just a
up the
character called woman.
Woman. Woman.
Woman.
Oh, that's great. It just has the main characters.
Oh,
None of them
great.
have images either.
Oh,
No.
that's
That's not
just
helpful. Hi, Darth
ideal.
Maul. Her.
Her. Yeah.
Black-haired girl.
I will say, I think as a character, she was cool.
Oh yeah.
Design-wise, yeah, I think could have been a lot better.
Was
but
she just a plot device for someone to get angry?
yes, but she was a very
Sarah.
cool plot device.
Sarah. That's
I
a
knew it was a very
boring
like.
fucking name.
I knew it was like a very English
Yeah.
name.
You might have been thinking of Clara because Doctor Who just happened and stuff, but
Oh yeah, and you got that Gendor Carey looking motherfucker there.
yeah.
But yeah, she just kind of appeared, kicked some ass, then got her ass
Died.
kicked.
Yeah.
I mean, she was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was cool while she was there. for
Yeah, she
those
was there for like
maybe-
20 minutes.
Did she
but
get fucked up by the robot, or did the robot show up after she got fucked up?
I think after.
Oh, I think
She was driving the sort of truck. And,
she drowned, didn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and she
that's
drove
right,
into
yeah.
the river because the robot just was like, boing.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
love
I'll just get out of the way.
I love the introduction of the robot and like the opening
Yeah.
of the episode.
A
That's
weapon
very,
to surpass Metal Gear.
a very kind of Terminator-esque
Yeah,
type
absolutely.
episode. Yeah, again, probably good that it came out during the bubble economy because that fight between Gogol and the robot would have looked like ass had it been slightly later on.
Yeah.
It was a very epic battle, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because they set it up with, like, Google just... He doesn't have a choice. He just kind of has to go in there and say, oh, fine, I'll kick his ass.
Yeah.
By the time he realizes what's happening, it's too late to stop it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because, you know, they have no choice.
yeah.
Because they are prisoners-ish.
They've got like a sort of deal. They're cyber criminals.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
they take a deal of like the place where like if you do these missions for us, we'll and as you complete missions, we'll reduce your sentence, which is
Yeah.
like hundreds of years because it's a dystopia.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, of course.
They all have like 300-year plus sentences, and
Yeah.
like they only get like a 10-year reduction
for each
per
mission,
criminal. Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't take crazy long.
Yeah, but they keep fucking them up. So
Yeah.
I also feel like none of them have had any of their sentences reduced because I feel like they're always just gonna look for a way
Yeah.
to go. You didn't
Oh,
fulfill
no,
this
wasn't
properly.
Yeah,
good
like
enough.
that basically happened at the end of Sengoku's episode,
Yeah.
didn't it? Like he didn't do one specific thing that would have probably fucked up the mission overall. So
I think it
the
kinda
sentence got like
happens-
added on.
Yeah, I feel like it happens to all of them as well.
Yeah. Because dystopia.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that they showcase at some point they are working on trying to get out of this.
Yeah.
Like, because they have this collar thing that could explode.
Yeah.
Make
Very
them
much Battle
explode.
Royale.
It's
Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
It's basically Suicide Squad.
Yeah, this is some sort of Suicide Squad.
Oh my
That's
god.
the joke. I made the joke. It's the joke.
And I love that they introduced this character. He looks all menacing with like his tiny little things. And I believe is it Ben 10 that's there? Or is it...
It's Gogo, because that's
Gogo,
the beginning
yeah.
of
Oh, yeah,
Gogo's
yeah, yeah,
episode.
And we just see him from afar and his head just blows up.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh.
At first I thought
He
that was
gets pretty
Sengoku.
far. He only has
Yeah.
2 fuses left
Yeah.
to remove
Yeah.
before he fucks it up.
At first I thought that was Sengoku at the beginning, and I was
No.
like, did he just fucking die? Is this Thrones? Are they gonna die one by one in
No,
each
no,
episode?
no.
But no.
You introduce a character, you kill a character. That's how it works.
I mean, for anime.
Yeah. But then it turns out they're not really dead later somehow, so, you know.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
How does that work?
I don't know.
Just a brain in a jar at that point?
Yeah, I like Gogo's episode. I do find it funny in the dub. Neither of you seen this because I'm the only one that watched episode 2 dub. But when he finds out the weakness is like the Sonic, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
The Venom's symbiote
I don't
weakness.
know how it comes across in the dub, but obviously Gogo shouts to the robot and he's like, "Here, record this." And in the dub, he's like, "Hey, record this," and then he just suddenly picks up the the big fucking steel beam, but he's like, and I'm
Oh no,
like,
it's like effortless in the...
Yeah. Like he fixed that up
Record
without any
this,
problem.
bonk.
because in the dub he spends like a solid 10 to 20 seconds just like, and I'm like, record you shitting yourself.
Would be hilarious if it just looped that.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I meant the sound of the beam hitting the thing. So sorry.
I will say, you can tell this dub was very much an early anime dub.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love this dub. I love this type of dub that manga used to kind of specialize in at type because it's so
Silly.
dumb. Yeah, it's in that era of like, oh, if we throw in swearing,
Yeah, it'll be adult and cool.
Yeah,
Cool and edgy.
And edgy, because
but at the same time, I sometimes feel like the dub had more.
character.
Personality.
Not necessarily that, but I think at times I felt like it was more subtle than the Japanese version because I had the subtitles on sometimes during episode 2, and like there were times where characters were talking and I'm like, oh no, the dub kind of nailed this better, and like because the subtitles would either over explain it or like they
Okay.
would say kind of like
Yeah.
That does sound about right. Yeah.
yeah, it's weird. It's hard to kind of put into words unless you've kind of sat there and
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of read both or listened and read the subtitles. But yeah, no, it does have way more character for sure. I feel like had it not had that dub, I feel like only people who really knew Yoshiaki Kawajiri's work would have
like,
found
went
it
in on this,
and kind of. But then again, I think Wicked City was only really known for having like a similar dub that none of us could stomach because of the character
Voices,
accents.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will say there was one part in episode 3 where I did like go and check like the differences between the sub and the dub, and it's when Benton is about to like drive off in like search of like the vampire woman.
Are you talking about the best line and the whole dub?
Yeah, which goes, but the thing is, it goes way against his character up until that point, even in the dub. So I was like, okay, I gotta check what the subtitles was, because like, in like the subtitles, like they're driving off, like Sengoku like says something, but then like Benton goes all poetic, like vampires are tragic creatures of the night and stuff.
Can I?
But then in the dub, what does he say?
They be bitches.
You wouldn't recognize a vampire if it jumped up and bit you on the end of your dick. Now fuck off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like even in the dub though, that goes a bit against his characterization up until that point. I feel so. I was like, I gotta go back. And
I
check
kind of
what that
like
was.
it as like showing that they don't really get along. None of them are friends.
No.
And especially Benton and Sengoku kind of have
Yeah,
some tension between them.
Yeah.
That's still one of my favorite lines, honestly.
Yeah, that being the first episode I watched with the dub, it just, all the characters I felt like I knew, they were just kind of like,
No, you didn't.
no, we're just gonna dial them up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's up to
What?
11.
And I totally forgot about that line, but now that you reminded me, I literally had a moment of, what?
Yeah, that again. That's why I went back and was like, I gotta see what the fucking sub that was, because that just sounds so 90s anime. We added this in the dub.
Oh, I've seen that clipped on YouTube so many times as like the worst line in anime dubbing, and I'm like, no, that's the best one.
No.
What are you on about?
I won't call it the worst. It's
A
hilarious.
sense of humor. Oh.
It's like the one time Benton's like, yeah, I have a fucking personality.
Yeah. Oh, it's the kind of like fight between him and like Vampire Man number 2 at the end that's very different, and the dubbing is like slightly more subtle as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't check on the subs on that, so
it's very kind of like on the nose if you watch the Japanese version, whereas like I feel like they've kind of dialed it down a little bit. Which was interesting because I'm like, that's not in character for this at all.
no. Usually it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I
really
on
like
episode 3. I just realized. I'm so sorry.
I think we kind
fine.
of run out of things to talk about with Google's episode.
Yeah.
But I think episode 3 is probably my favorite.
Absolutely, yeah. It's my favorite in terms of the story, and it's got my favorite of like the 3 characters as well. So
I think the pacing's really good in it as well because it's very kind of. I think there's a structure to it that's a bit more definable, but also means that like the last kind of act gets to be a bit more slow paced and a bit more kind of like
climactic,
contemplative as well. Contemplative. I don't know.
One of those.
It gets you thinking.
It gets you thinking.
Use your brain, kids.
Yeah, when he's talking about the stars is also more subtle in the dub than it is in Japanese too.
I was surprised at how well like the dub had pulled that off, because up to that point it was very, in your face.
Yeah. Yeah, episode 3 is really cool because like it's suddenly just vampires.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they tried to hint at it with, we have these bodies and we're like circulating blood through them, and that you're supposed to connect to vampires and they need to drink blood to survive.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
And I was also like, you can't do that. You can't just have something and be like, it's the same. It's the same. Like,
The episode opens with literally someone getting
vamp.
bitten.
Yeah, it's almost like the same as like fucking the opening of Vampire Hunter D.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I was so confused. I was like, is this the same fucking series?
Funnily enough, that would have been like a decade later because Vampire Hunter D would have been
that was late
2000.
90s.
Yeah.
Or 2000s,
Yeah.
Damn. It's amazing how, I'm going to be honest, this episode was better than Vampire Hunter D.
It was 100%. I like Vampire Hunter
Story-wise,
D.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I say that as someone who also did like Vampire Hunter D. Like, that's one of the ones I think about putting on again sometimes. But yeah, I really liked this episode, even though like it sort of forgoes sci-fi, like cyberpunk-esque to just go into a bit of fantasy.
I think it combines them nicely because they're in kind of like space orbit.
Yeah.
Not space orbit. They're in orbit. They're in a space station thing where people are like cryogenically frozen.
Yeah. I'm more thinking like the fantasy part because like they go into like an explanation on like why they're immortal and like why they drink blood as a sort of like virus and like, but then they just say, oh, it also unlocks latent psychic powers.
By the way.
And I'm like, oh, you just didn't fucking try with that part.
But didn't they explain away in was it episode 1 or 2 where it's like, oh yeah, they used like pressure lifts or something like that to explain someone also floating before?
If they did, I must have missed it.
Yeah. I mean, the robot things had this pressure thing as well, like as a weapon or something.
Yeah.
Where they just kind of
That
made
just sort of
people
sent everyone
explode.
go back, yeah.
I don't know. I love the vibes of this, and I like the dub and stuff. But I think like between viewings, it can be very forgettable, even in the most memorable moments. So like it's something I vibe with, but at the same time, like I'll definitely acknowledge it's not like the strongest piece of work from Kawajiri, let alone this era of anime.
I will say this was better cyberpunk than Akira.
I mean, Akira goes in just such a
take.
strange direction, though.
Yeah.
Again, Akira is good, but like only from like a spectacle standpoint, in my opinion.
I know I'm probably not supposed to understand most of Akira, but like, I still don't think that makes that really jive with me too much.
Yeah, I think
outside of just visuals.
I think we kind of talked about that in the Akira episode, where it's like it's just a kind of thing of where they've taken the beginning of the manga and the very end and left out 4 or 5 volumes worth of material and just went
Nice. I should read the manga.
yeah, I should too.
But yeah, this did all the cyberpunk stuff way better.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think it also has more of the tone and style of it than Akira. Akira kind of had the city, but that was only like to a certain extent. I think it's kind of like earlier version of like Night City from Cyberpunk, and then it's surrounded by like the wastelands type thing. So, yeah, it's cool. Very 90s, very much gets the neurons firing when I'm watching it.
Like I said, the moment like the first shot came up, I was hooked and I was ready.
So you saw the conversation between Sengoku and the robot in episode 1, I think, when he's gonna go into the where he's like tells the robot to fuck off, and the robot's like, fuck off, what do you mean by this?
Yeah.
Like, you're not using this term correctly.
Yeah, like he searches like vocabulary banks and stuff and he can't find, and I'm just like, robot, you just shut up.
He's like, fuck means to fornicate. In this context, I do not understand what fuck off means.
At that point, I'm actually with Sengoku and I was like, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
Take a fucking joke, dude.
Can I just turn you off?
I don't think it's Kawajiri's strongest. It's the most enjoyable, I think.
Out of the stuff we've watched of his, I think this is the one I definitely had the most fun watching.
Yeah.
It was definitely just, I don't want to say relaxing, but it's something, it just kind of takes you in and you're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Hit me.
I think especially if you
I'm
were
ready.
to like, sit down and watch all 3 episodes with like the English dub. You know, not like what we did where we experimented and kind of done.
Look, we wanted to see the differences.
Yes.
Yeah, if anyone's wondering about the US dub, it's the exact same voice actors, it's the same lines and stuff, but the soundtrack swapped to the Japanese version. We got the completely not reorchestrated because it's not orchestra.
No, but like a completely redone soundtrack.
We got a rescored version with Rory McFarlane's better soundtrack. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say,
I think they're good for different reasons, but I think overall, I did like the UK dub version more.
I think the rock soundtrack fits just a bit better.
It definitely makes it more 80s than it already was, because I was ready to like put some fucking Metallica on like right after.
I think the UK dub actually has more incidental music than the Japanese version does, because I noticed watching episode 1 that there was practically no music at all in the Japanese version. It's kind of like very restrained, I guess, whereas like it's not all the time, but there's definitely more music in the UK version.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I don't know if anyone has anything else to say. I'm kind of
just to bring up the soundtracks again. I'm gonna bring this up because of course I am. It reminded me of fucking Sonic CD and that whole soundtrack situation, because that had 2 soundtracks as well based on regions. But the thing is, it was the Japanese one in that one that was way better and fit the tone of the game more, whereas like the US one was a bit more sort of pop-ish.
Right.
Whereas like the Japanese one was more like trance techno sort of like thing, which jived more. And weirdly enough, I'm just bringing it up because this whole situation reminded me of that. Only in this situation, it's the Western one which had the better soundtrack.
I think that it's mainly down to like at the time they were kind of aiming for that counterculture, audience.
Definitely the punk.
Yeah, it was very much kind of like the thing in the late 90s, early 2000s to like pump up the dialogue and to make it it was called 15ing, where you would add in all the stuff that would get a 15 rating, so that way it was on the shelf and people could see it and go, it's not for the kids, it's for the adults.
The moment you said 15 thing, I immediately understood.
So that was manga's thing back in the day, because I mean, not that it needed to happen to like Demon City or Wicked City at all, because that would have gotten probably an 18 at the time.
Even with just the fucking, what's his name? He's not the guy in Dragon Ball, but he's like the guy in Dragon Ball, the old pervy guy. What's his name?
Master Roshi.
Yeah, the Master Roshi character probably would have gone at a fucking 18.
I mean, probably the technical rape scenes
How did I forgot about that. I wiped that from my mind.
The thing that someone actually commented on that got me like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
We love our commenters.
We love our commenters, but that one was a bit...
It's a bit much.
Yeah, because we all seen the comment, and it was something like... I don't even remember what it said, but it was...
Yeah, it was very much like that. Oh, this you've seen nothing yet. You
Yeah.
should
It
watch
was-
more.
Oh, wasn't it like, oh, but this is a gateway to? Or
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they left like a one-line comment, and I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, and we were like, to us, it sort of seemed like, do you want us to like watch hentai? 'Cause
And
that's
then
not
they
what we're
immediately
doing.
replied with like, oh, well, if you've seen this, then, you know, you got to watch more hentai on the show. And I'm like, absolutely the fuck not.
It's
So
not that
let's
kind of
let's
show.
talk about the storyline here.
Exactly.
We're here for the
what
plot.
do you
She's
wanna
stuck
talk
in the
about?
washing machine.
Where will this go? I am so curious.
Oh,
I like the
there you
subtle
go.
commentary here.
Oh, that's where it's going. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Not where I expect.
I'm just gonna bring it back because this is gonna go fast. I don't know why, but for me, the Japanese version was really reminiscent of Bonnie Tyler. I don't know how.
Do you mean the opening or?
Yeah, just the opening, and I think the credits a bit less, but still a bit.
It's the same
Yeah.
singer,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was just giving me Bonnie Tyler vibes,
fair.
which
I
I
can
like.
kind of get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Not in the lyrics.
No.
Silly game.
Silly game. There's just also a few other English lines like, "Hold me, don't let me go." Like, let
Do
me
not.
go. But you know, I love some bad English.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we
Like-
all do.
I don't want to bring up Eurovision, but Eurovision English is the same as like Japanese.
That's like half the reason to watch Eurovision.
yeah, exactly. Just the things. I guess that rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit weird to say that, but okay. I guess it's grammatically correct, but
I think my favorite thing about some Japanese versions of like English is that you'll listen to a song and it's not until you look at the lyrics and go,
oh, that's English.
oh, that was meant to be in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Naruto opening called Silhouette, and I'm like, where's the word silhouette in this song? And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I cannot hear it in the chorus. And then I looked up the lyrics, and I went, oh, they just can't fucking pronounce it. And then I realized that like so many of the lines had like English words in them that you just cannot recognize. Like they
Yeah.
have goal line, and it's like goru line, and I'm like,
Oh.
What?
what?
They're trying so hard.
And it's like-
I appreciate it,
Yeah,
but
and it's shiruet, and I'm like,
Oh.
okay, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, early K-pop had the same issue.
Yeah.
Like, but it's still fun. I enjoy it, you know.
Does it ever catch you off guard when you're listening to like music in another language, and then you find out the singer's bilingual, by they very effortlessly switch to English, and you're like, that's
Huh. Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah, no,
always
I know.
catches me off guard.
Yeah. There's some I think within Blackpink there's someone who's like Australian.
Yeah.
So first of all, to hear someone who I thought only spoke like Korean and a tiny bit of English to have a full Australian accent, just kind of was like, what? What?
Yeah.
How?
I think my favorite thing is like the
Hackles
compilation.
Bales for real.
Yeah. I think my favorite compilation is like K-pop stars on like American TV, and they're like, so what's it like, you know, coming to America, and then one of them's just like, I was born here.
I live
And I
here.
was like, well, it's nice to be back because I grew up here. I
Yeah,
went to
like goes
school
full Texan.
here.
Yeah.
I went here and it's nice to be
Why
back.
have you no, pretty lady?
They still have the Texan attitude.
Yeah, exactly. If it only comes out when they speak English.
Yeah. Like
And then-
normally very reserved.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And because it's an America morning TV, like all of them are always like, oh, I was not expecting that. I don't know where to go from here.
You thought wrong, my good bitch.
Yeah. We're way off topic.
I know, but this is great. I love this conversation.
Also, just to kind of really stick with the K-pop thing, because I'll have nowhere else to bring this up. Because I've been listening to Stray Kids a little bit recently with their new album coming out. I've been getting more videos about them feeding into my algorithms, and I love seeing people react to Felix. His voice, he's got like the very deep voice.
I think so. Yeah.
Because he does not look like he would. He just looks like your standard Asian guy, right?
Okay.
blonde hair, you know. He's kinda
K-pop Asian.
K-pop Asian
Yeah, I was
guy.
gonna say.
And then he starts singing, and the amount of people who just pause it and are like,
What?
what?
Wait a minute.
Why? Because he's like, hold on, you know what? I'll fucking.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, and you're doing it on the phone. Don't
Yeah.
scuff up.
Ooh.
I gotta try to remember which song it is. He immediately starts singing on.
Yeah,
Oh no.
I do appreciate that because I have no idea what you guys are fucking talking
I think it's
about.
this one.
Because I don't K-pop.
Is it this one?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Hold
Oh,
on.
I can't wait to get this copyright claim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think the mic's picking it up.
I can hear it.
That's what.
Yeah.
Run.
And
The French are coming.
So he looks like this. Oh, he's Australian as well.
Oh, of course.
Nice.
So that's what he looks like.
That's amazing.
So people immediately hear him and they're like, huh? Huh?
That's awesome. I love that. I love disconnects like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. So scores.
So scores, yeah.
Scores.
Oh yeah, scores.
I think it's a solid 7. I enjoy it way more than that, but I don't think I could give it more than that.
Yeah, I was gonna go with. It was me. It was near like a 7 or an 8, but I think 7
Yeah.
is more like closer. Really.
6.8.
I kind of
6.8.
No.
Yeah. We'd draw the fucking line at like 0.5.
Just in case I ever have to do average scores at any point for compilations or anything, please save my fucking sanity and only do 0.5s
Okay.
or
If you have to
round
do
numbers.
points.
Even though it's closer to 7, I'm more gravitating towards 6.5.
Fair enough. You
Yes.
are the least sci-fi
Yeah.
of the three of us.
But
So.
it has been one of the sci-fi ones I've enjoyed more.
Really?
Maybe
This one?
I don't know how.
Maybe
I
you
mean-
actually do like sci-fi.
Maybe it was the fact that it opened with just the weirdest fucking opening track. I was like, fuck yes, silly games, let's go.
So that's it. We just got to get you in the right mood immediately, and you'll be hooked forever.
Oh my god.
Again, it started off pretty weak, but like slowly pulls itself like together.
Yeah.
Again, I
yeah.
think that's the biggest shame of it, is it's like it feels like there's potential for like it to be spun off into a TV series.
Yeah, like there's no continuation.
No.
Like at all past this, and I was very kind of shocked.
Yeah.
I was kind of like looking into it to see if they intended to do anything beyond the 3 episodes, and I don't think they did.
No, not from what I've seen either.
But yeah, I'm surprised this has never been revived at all or anything
Yeah.
for TV.
It's around that time, you never know.
Yeah, Ninja Scroll got it back in 2010, I think, and that got like a TV series. And I think this is like prime for like a kind of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex type thing where it's like very character and episodic
Yeah.
Nice and
focused.
gritty.
With like maybe
We will get to
some
that eventually, by the way.
building, yeah, with like some kind of like interwoven story maybe.
Yeah.
Because that was the interesting thing about standalone complex, is that you had standalone episodes and you had complex episodes. Like literally, when you watch somebody would pop up with that at the beginning of the episode. And so standalone were what they are on the tin. Standalone, they're character focused. They focus on like a very individual thing to the story. And then complex would build into a larger narrative.
Yeah, okay.
And I think Cyber City would work really well with
Yeah.
that sort of
for sure,
idea and that
yeah.
structure.
It's a good format for it.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I-
Madhouse are probably never going to let go of it, but sadly, Madhouse aren't really doing a whole lot of good these days.
It's an inevitability. Crunchyroll's gonna get it. If you want to hear more about that.
The thing is,
wanna hear-
Crunchyroll have done originals before and they've all been absolutely trash.
Yeah.
Shocker.
If you want to hear more about that, we'll listen to our Monopoly episode.
Yeah, that is
Where we
out.
play Monopoly.
Exactly. We'll do it for Nap one of these days.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Cyber City. We're scrolling our way back in time to have an adventure with some ninja and Ninja Scroll. Written,
Wow.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Written and directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, animation production by Madhouse, and music by Kaoru Wada. Originally released in Japanese theaters June 5th, 1993. It was licensed in the UK by Manga Entertainment, sadly no longer exists, and in the US by Sentai Filmworks, and I'm pretty sure it's fucking out of print.
F.
So yeah, Ninja Scroll. Is that what we're starting with?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
assume
that's,
so.
You're outvoted 2 out of 3, so
I
Yeah.
don't care.
2 out of 3, 2 out of 1.
why do you watch the show first?
Because I wanted to.
I picked the show last because I was like, I want to chill at the end of the night and just enjoy that, because I knew the tone of where Oshinoko was going for that point.
It was just the vibe of like the night. I was actually originally going to watch Ninja Scroll first, but I just didn't want to that night.
So
Ninja Scroll.
there's a lot.
How do we start?
I don't know. I should bring up the fact that Yoshiaki Kawajiri also directed Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Seems familiar, yeah.
That was the one thing we've seen that was popping in my head a lot as I was watching this. I will say I thought Vampire Hunter was better just off the bat.
I mean, that's fair. I think stylistically this is closer to some of his other stuff, and so style-wise I prefer this.
Yeah, like style-wise I really like it. It's just,
Story-wise it's a little weak in the knees.
Yeah.
Like the best
Don't
way,
say weak in the knees.
Yeah,
Well,
no. The best way to describe it for me is like they had a good story, and then this 15-year-old.
Do they have a good story?
I'm gonna get this. They had the story, and then this 15-year-old pubescent weave came in and was like, "So what if?
What if we change
What
this?
if? What if we we can? You have to have sex with her."
You might not enjoy any of Kawajiri's stuff. Because this was, even though Ninja Scroll was the 90s, it's still very much like a byproduct of like the boom of the 80s of hard violence, hard sex, just pushing the absolute fucking limits
Balls
of
to the walls.
what you can put on the screen. So yeah, you look at it now and you go,
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was just one moment particularly where, like, because I don't dislike the main character. What's her name again? Oh, Kaguru?
Kaguru. Yeah.
She just has this power.
Wait, hold on.
Ish.
She's not the main character, though.
No, the main girl.
The main girl.
I mean,
Still.
she might as well be because the
still
actual
very
main character,
much like Jubi as like the
I know,
central
but also
focus.
Jubi's kind of fucking useless for a good.
He
chunk
is
of this
useless,
movie.
but he kind of is like the main thing we're following. Like even in scenes she's in, it's very much
Yeah.
like she's not the main character.
Yeah.
True.
I wish she was the main character.
Yeah, it would have been more interesting, and maybe she would have been a better character because I feel like she was just kind of dwindled down to be
The romance
Yeah.
character.
the romance was like, oh no, you have to have sex with her.
That
Just to
kinda
say, by the way,
comes-
that romance I didn't believe.
No,
No.
I didn't believe it either. It comes kind of out of left field and makes no sense
sense.
whatsoever.
No.
Like they've known each other for less. Also, this whole film takes place in what, a day and a half?
Yeah, I was about to say like, no.
Like Jubi's calling her like Nakama and stuff, and I'm like,
Okay, I need to bring this up. Nakama doesn't mean anything special in particular.
Oh, I
it
always
just
thought it did.
means friend.
oh, okay. I always heard from other weebs.
Yeah, because of One Piece, everyone's like, it means special friend. It doesn't. It's just friend. It doesn't
Okay.
mean anything special in particular.
Now I know.
Wow.
I'm just bringing it up because even in the context of the subtitles, I was like, are you really doing that? Don't do that.
Because like in the subtitles, he's calling her like comrade.
Yeah, he calls her at one point precious friend, and I heard the word Nakama, and I'm like, don't do this to me. I'm gonna have to explain this, and I'm gonna sound like an asshole again.
You did not sound like an asshole.
No, it's fair. But yeah, by the end, because he's poisoned, Jubi is poisoned, and the only way he can save himself is by having sex.
Which is not even what happens in the end. He literally
No.
just kisses her.
Yeah, I mean, the
Shinzo
subtitles.
Abe's ghost is very disappointed.
Yeah, like they say, you must make love. I'm like, I feel like if it's, a save life or death situation, that love is not necessarily a component that is necessary.
No.
Yeah, like is all the poison concentrated in like the junk area? Is that why it has to be
Yeah.
sex?
Yeah, it's like, how is that like the solution? Because clearly the guy at the start of the movie,
Yeah,
the rock guy,
the thing.
the thing,
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson, he literally just dies because he kind of,
Well,
like, he kisses. Well, it's mainly, I
Yeah.
would say, from the kiss rather than anything else.
because there's like a flashback to like the kiss.
he full on,
Yeah.
mouth round her face, like her entire face.
Yeah,
at
he
one point.
sucks face.
He does suck face.
So I don't get the whole fucker part of
Get
it.
fucking.
No,
Yeah.
no. If they just said you have to kiss her because there's saliva, I'd
Yeah.
be like, sure,
'Cause that makes
whatever.
sense.
Sure.
Because
in
at least
this
that way I
world.
could sort of go, yeah, that would enter the body, as disgusting as I hate saying
Why,
that sentence.
why not just spit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather just like spit in my mouth.
Well, Melina.
We're just gonna go in that direction, huh?
God.
My main point here is that none of the fluids involved with, that part are going to enter Juby's body at the very least.
No.
So it doesn't make sense.
No.
I was legit chanting at the end. Don't fucking have sex with her.
Yeah.
Same.
Don't. It'd be more noble of him as a character to just accept
Yeah, I
death.
also don't
Yeah.
think it is within Juby's character to even go that
No,
far.
because he recognizes, oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked. Because she's willing to, kind of sacrifice herself to be like, just do it, get it over with.
She's willing to let him smash.
Yeah. Because I think, as
It's
as
a
a
sad
character,
smash.
she's kind of accepted it. Like, I guess,
Yeah.
I
But at the
have
same
this
time,
thing.
like, the film really tries to convince us that she's fallen in love with him.
Yeah, no, they don't.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Because again, it feels like a day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
2 days at max. I'd be impressed.
yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't until like right at the end that I sort of realized it was a full day. I was like, isn't this just been like one night?
Yeah. Like, by the end, he's only really saved her, like, twice. Both times from being raped. So, maybe don't go off of that
Does
as a
the
basis.
cliffside catch count as saving? Because he's also saving himself.
That one I feel is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
just sort of, it happens.
It does happen. A lot of things just happen.
Yeah, because they set up this whole kind of Scott Pilgrim versus the world. You have to defeat the 8 demons.
Demon, yeah. sort of
Yeah, the
demons of the something.
yeah.
And then they all go down so fast.
Yeah.
To
A
the
lot of
point-
them by
yeah.
themselves.
Again, this is like, I think, similar to Vampire Hunter D, where you're introduced to a bunch of like characters who just
Die.
and it's like, we have like a very tight 90-minute runtime here. Do you really want to have 8
Yeah.
of these fuckers?
Yeah, I feel like a good 3 could have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 at most.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because it felt like it was a Monster of the Week show that was edited
Yeah.
into a film, and it just didn't work. Because they had the blind guy where it was like, I'm fucking, that's great.
Yeah, it's
like,
cool.
And then he just dies.
He just gets stabbed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, none of the villains really get much
Impact.
in the way of impact or screen time. Like, none of them feel like the main antagonist. Even Genma, the
Yeah.
person that Juby's trying to kill. It's like you get to the end and you meet him for the first time. And you're like,
With his Giga Chad.
with his
chin.
Giga
His
Chad
absolute
chin.
giga. Yep.
I literally, like, when I saw that, I sent it, like, to you, Michael.
Yeah.
Just the side-by-side picture of, like, him in the same position as, like, the Giga Chad, sort of,
Oh, yeah.
like, side on. And I was like, it's him. It's the guy. I couldn't take him seriously.
No, absolutely
That's
not.
fair.
No.
I can't take him seriously with his fucking Full Metal Alchemist arm either. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
It never explains that. Like, the scar on his neck, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
you
he got the
somehow
head,
brought your
yeah.
head
Yeah, he
back.
did a deal.
Yeah. The metal arm, though. Why?
The only thing when I can ever imagine was someone's like, my head got cut off, but my body came back. I'm like, so it's like Lizard, like you had a teeny tiny body with your ginormous fucking head.
It's like the Deadpool problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
But
yes.
the scar kind of makes it seem like he somehow brought them back together. So, like, he didn't regrow anything.
Yeah,
Because then you'd have the Deadpool problem of, does the head also grow back
Yeah,
on the
that's-
other body?
Is there two
yeah.
now?
Is there 2 now? Yeah.
Is the other one the Shogun of the Dark? Because you didn't get an explanation in the
yeah,
movie.
that's true.
It's a whole arc. What arc of who? What was it again?
Genma? What?
Shogun of the Dark.
Shogun of the Dark?
No. I'm talking about the fucking vision thing where it's like, if you have a boat, but you replace
Oh, the ship
Oh.
of Theseus.
Oh, yeah.
Theseus, that's the one. Yeah.
Is it
It's-
still
I like how
the
you
same
just
ship?
went the arc of, and I'm like, I saw in my head ARC as a story.
Yeah,
arc,
I
and
was
I'm
like that
Oh,
too.
that's on me. Yeah.
Raiders of the.
The lost story arc. Half of this fucking movie,
Yeah.
apparently.
Oh god, I feel like it could have worked so much better in a limited series format though.
Yeah.
Because then, even if it was a day, we could have at least felt like some sort of romance maybe develop, and the
Yeah. At
villains
least
got
have
the airtime they deserved. And
More from our perspective, we'd have had more time to digest everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the thing where, like, to make a comparison to, like, One Piece, recently one of the chapters revealed that it's only been a month since the last, like, story arc began.
Christ.
And so like that story arc's done, and now they're on to the next one, and I'm like, I'm sorry, that was 4 years worth of storytelling in real world time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I am not convinced that was only a month.
Yeah, how dare you?
Canon
have
says
aged.
otherwise.
I have literally aged.
But I like the concepts of the villains. Like,
Yeah.
all of them had something cool going for them, where I was like, yeah. I mean, Serpent Lady was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Where are the snakes coming from? And do
Yeah.
I really want to
it's
know?
one in particular that you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they framed the Shaw, and you're like, oh no,
Oh, no.
that's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
And it just begs so many
slithers down.
questions.
It does. It really does. You just don't want to even
Don't-
ask them.
No, you don't want to ask.
No.
No.
You think
'Cause she
about
also-
asking, and then you're like, no, actually,
Yeah.
No.
Uh-huh.
And she sheds her skin
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is she made of snakes?
Is she Snake?
Is she the snake or is she made of snakes?
Don't step on Snake. She can also sort of shapeshift. Can't she?
Can she?
Because she became like that sort of old nun woman at one point. Or am I thinking of another one?
Old nun woman.
Because he goes to like a Buddhist temple at some point, like randomly, and like there's a nun there, and then it's revealed that like it's the snake woman.
Is it?
I don't know.
I only remember the scene with like he's in the water bathing.
Oh,
and he
yeah,
sees
that
her,
too.
and then there's later.
He gets a Ghost of Tsushima like bathing pool scene.
Yeah. And then later it's like I remember a scene with him and Kaguro, which is when like he's covered in snakes and she like rescues him, which is where the questionable snake
I think
comes
that's like
into play.
right after the scene I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Could
So-
be, yeah.
I like this movie, but at the same time I struggled through it this time.
I'm overall I think I'm unsure how I feel because like I don't know if I liked it.
I think
Yeah.
my kind of main issues with it are it has really nice action, so I wish it had just, rather than actually trying to tell the story,
Just been an action movie.
just been an
Yeah.
action movie.
Just been a brain off
Yeah.
spectacle. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
like sort of like Akira was.
Yeah. But at the moment it tries to tell too much of its story, so there's an imbalance between the action and the storytelling, I think.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And to the point where the end just becomes like,
That's it.
no, even like just the last act is a bit nonsensical and incomprehensible to watch.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's trying to set up more, but I don't know if there is any more.
I mean, even then, like, it's just down to like they show up in the town and then they just start fighting for the last like 20 minutes.
Yeah, the Chamberlain guy who's not the Chamberlain guy.
Yeah, who
'cause he
turns
got
out to be
killed.
the Giga Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't do the third act justice, though.
No.
'Cause
No.
they don't build it up in a way we expect it to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of everything happens, and then you're in the third act, and you're like, oh, we're still going. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just continue. Nothing goes up and down. You're just kind of in a straight line,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay. Because to me, they didn't really build up Genma to be like, he's unbeatable. Because
No.
he's alive again. He's beat him before.
Yeah, but we didn't know him when he was,
Yeah.
alive originally, so we
Yeah.
have no attachment to him as like a person. So it's
No.
like he came back to life, and you're like, as far as we're concerned, in the bounds of this movie, that's entirely possible. like,
Yeah.
We get one flashback.
Yeah.
And he's not even really in it until his head's cut off.
like he is the only character that we know that has resurrected, but at the same time, we only know any one character having one in particular ability. So it's like, well, technically, as far as we're led to believe within the fictions and rules of this universe, that's all fine and possible.
Fine
Yeah.
and
Whereas
dandy.
they're like, it's the forbidden art. No one can attain it. No human can attain it. And you're like, just because you tell me that doesn't
Yeah.
mean I have to
Yeah.
believe it.
No, exactly.
This might sound like a stretch, but like at some point there was a part where I was like, am I supposed to view this movie in the sense that like it's a legend being told to me or something?
I think it's meant to kind of be like a
Like some sort of folklore story.
kind of. It's not really based on anything like that, but it's taken the sort of
I guess, stylings
Yeah.
of it.
Which I guess from that angle I can like it a bit more, but even then I don't think not much.
Yeah. I think it would make the title make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's mainly where I was going with that. I was
Yeah.
like, is it like I'm reading a ninja scroll?
Yeah.
I mean, if they lean more into that, it could have worked better.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agreed.
Just have like an opening monologue. It's like, let me tell you the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked it more because the nonsensicality of everything and everything just kind of happening
It
would
opens
make
like
more sense.
it opens like Dragon Dentist with like a person on like a laptop, and then suddenly we just cut to feudal Japan.
God.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Way better. Yeah. Because, you know, stories, if you look at, let's say, other legends, they're pretty boringly written, I'd say, because things just happen.
Yeah.
It's not like, ooh, the suspense is killing me. Like, there's a lady, she's a ghost, she kills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that is how they wanted to present it, they should have done it better.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I had a thing I was gonna say, and I blanked.
I believe in you.
You can do it.
You
You
got
can
it.
think of the thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the over-sexualization of women again, or is that another conversation?
I was gonna bring that up.
Well, then let's get into
Let's
it.
get into that, and I'll try and claw back of the point I was gonna make.
Yeah, so this film, the first moment that you're like, oh god,
It's
a lot of-
early.
It's very early.
it's very early, and we're just fully there. I'm like, oh,
That's
already?
that's a rape.
That's it. That's that. That sure is that.
Cool.
And it's not even like it's the most visual one, but at the same time, it's also not even close to the fucking worst one
No.
because it comes later when it's the second time that she's been captured and is about to be,
you know.
and the guy just puts his fingers in his mouth. And it almost looks like a hentai for a solid 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
With that opening scene, I was tempted to like ask you, did you send us like a different kind of anime? Because that's fucked up for this show.
Just without telling us.
Yeah.
Good April Fool's joke.
Oh
Ah.
yeah, it's June, motherfucker.
No, this isn't Legend of the Overfiend. That's fine.
Yeah, I was also seeing that. I didn't remember this. I didn't want to remember this part. Oh god.
Did I remind you that part
Yes!
existed?
Yeah.
That part made me the most uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning made me very uncomfortable. But I don't want to say it's a classic thing. It's like, well, if you let me, have sex with you, you'll live longer. I was like, well, no, that I wouldn't take that fucking deal.
No.
Why would you? just kill me already, Jesus. And then, having that in mind, and then coming the second scene, and you're like, oh my god, it can get worse.
Yeah.
You see like the position she's like tied up and you're like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Please don't
Yeah.
do what I'm thinking you're gonna. Oh god, he's doing it.
Yeah.
Creepy bastard.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, nudity can be done in a way that is not sexualizing.
Yeah.
And here they very much lean into it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in like vulnerable moments for her where, you're not worried, let's arch my back, let's look pretty.
Yeah.
I want to see like realism, maybe? More struggle.
In my
instead of
demon hunting
attempting-
anime?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of realism and less
Yeah.
booby.
I mean, you do know we're watching anime. That's not a defense or anything, but
No,
I think you expect too much.
Yes!
Yeah.
I expect respect for women.
I'm sorry this is fucked up. I know it's fucked up, but you gotta lower your expectations.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is just like there's worse is the problem.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But those scenes especially really made me think, like, it's like a 15-year-old was the final
Yeah.
producer that was like, bit more. Do a bit more. I feel like
We
she
say
should-
15-year-old, but we got to remember that, especially at the time, Japan was like a heavily sexually repressed country.
Still.
Yeah.
So, like, in that lens, like, it sort of makes sense that what we deem as being edgelord, cringe teenage material is like, to them, they would write in their like 20s or 30s.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Like, to me, this is peak American weeb 15-year-old writing, like,
Now
I'm
you
gonna
know where they
write-
get it from. Like,
I mean, yeah, I understand
you keep saying that, and I'm like, this is where it comes from.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's to me like the prototype almost of like, this is what I imagine.
Project.
Yeah,
would be.
like this
Yeah.
is what the neck beards sit down and like
Hail is the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, as like a kind of, you know, and their fan fictions all kind of just mimic this, and you're like,
No.
you do realize this is not the thing to be like striving towards.
Yeah.
From an animation perspective, maybe in a sense, yeah, but not from like a storytelling perspective.
Absolutely not. No. God.
I can at least sort of, in some sense, forgive some of the stuff that happens in some of other Kawajiri's productions, because like Demon City and Wicked City are both horror films. So in the context that those, you know,
It's horrible things.
Yeah.
it's horrible things that are happening to people, and one of them turns into a big spider. So it's like, I can kind of get it. Like,
Fits a tone.
it fits the tone. Whereas here, it's like, this is just like, this is a Jidaigeki. This is a period piece about ninjas in the Edo period. Why are we
doing this?
Yeah, why are we doing this?
Yeah. We don't need this.
You know,
No.
ninjas who are also Ronin.
Yeah, like, that's what I don't get. They do say at one point Jubi is a ninja, and I'm like, but he's
Not really.
He's not, because he's like a Ronin. He's a masterless samurai, as far as I... Because he even mentions that his master... I don't think he's dead, but like cast him out and tried to kill him. So it's like, so he's a Ronin.
Yeah.
He's not a ninja.
Yeah, and he does, you know, work for money.
Yeah.
He's a mercenary.
He's cheap.
Yeah. he's a
He's a very
cheap-ass
cheap
mercenary.
mercenary.
I love how it never once gives you any bar of comparison for the Ryo that's mentioned in this.
No, absolutely not. No.
I will say, by the way, at one point, I ended up starting this with like the dub, but I quickly switched to the sub, and like it was weird that like in the dub they call it just gold.
Yeah.
Which made more sense for me in my Western head.
Yeah, it does kind of like make more sense. Like I get why they keep it in the subtitles, but all you need to do is put up a little thing like 1 Ryo equals something USD, and like even though we're British, we kind of have a base understanding of what
Exactly.
what dollar means.
I want to know if he's getting a penny or like a little more.
From the way they react, I'm assuming he's cheap as fuck.
Yeah, because like he only works for like what 100.
Yeah, that was his pay from the creepy old dude that poisons him at the beginning on the bridge. He's like, "Oh, you only did it for like 20 Ryo. Like, how can you do something so cheap?" And it's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so that's cheap, but then like 100 wouldn't be much.
Much more.
Yeah.
I'm not really. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, I'll find out.
I want to
figure
while you find that,
out.
I just want to mention, by the way, from the brief time I listened to like the dub voice acting isn't good.
It's it's like the early 2000s manga, so not even like their peak
No.
shit posting era.
No. I just remember like Jubi sounding very dead inside.
Yeah.
Which is mainly why I switched back to the sub.
Smart. I don't even bother with the dub usually. I'm just like,
I think it depends on how I'm feeling.
Same. And if it's Lupin, because I'm more like partial to Lupin being dubbed at this point for me.
I get it, yeah.
So the Ryo, 1 Ryo equals 0.
Is it like yen?
I don't know. Let me put in 100 Ryo and see what I get. It's basically like 50 pence as 100 Ryo.
Christ.
My guy is cheap.
Yeah.
I mean,
20 is like 10 pence.
Wow, he really.
But you got to remember,
then.
like back then,
Yeah.
in terms of like that era, like even then, like 50, like, you know, our grandparents probably go on about it all the time, where they're like, I remember when I used to go to the shops and get loads of stuff for 50 pence, and I'd still have change. And it's like, because we're not in that fucking era anymore, Grandad.
inflation.
It's the classic. It's become so expensive now. It's almost like we're in a crisis.
Yeah. But
You
even
know?
then, like things were more expensive anyway.
It's like that one Futurama joke where like it's like a taxi driver guy and like it's like this really long chase, and then at the end it's like, this 200 like fare could have got me 1 gallon of gas. And then dramatic music plays.
Yeah. Oh god.
Any other points? I mean, one scene I did really like is when Jubi had Kagero's like headpiece.
Oh, and he's smashing
And he
into-
just fully smashed his heads with
I
Genzo.
do like the final battle between him and
There's very good
Genma.
moments.
Like,
There's good stuff
it's
in
a
there,
nice set piece. It's a shame that it's just
Feels
yeah.
very.
It would have been really funny if he did just die from the headbutts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's your weakness.
I mean, I also like the rock guy where they're like, you must have a soft spot. Stab him in the eye.
I thought he was gonna go for another area. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
same. I was also like, groin.
Yeah. The ironically non-hard place is the groin. That would have been funny.
Exactly.
Well,
Would
he's
have
not
made
rock hard, that's for sure.
Oh, for
Then-
fuck's sake.
I was being subtle about it, you fucking idiot.
But that particular scene, I think it really, if they dragged it out a bit longer,
I don't know if you
Ignore
can hear
it,
that
just
in the
ignore it.
background.
yeah. If they dragged it out a bit longer, where it's like he's really trying to like beat him, but he keeps healing, it would have been better.
Yeah, agreed.
They just needed more time and more build up.
Yeah,
for it to
I also
work.
think like having him absolutely smash his face in, like right after he says, you know, oh, you can't kill me because I'll just keep joining my body back together, and then he just purely smashes his face in. It's like,
Okay, so what's that gonna do?
yeah, no, I'm more like thinking, well, if he smashes his brain to bits,
Surely.
surely,
He's dead.
and then no, he just
like
fully
zombie rules.
remorphs, and I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
And then
but-
it's gold.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get Desolation of Smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just killed by gold, and it's.
I mean, gold is hot, I suppose.
Yeah, but like gold takes a lot of like heat to melt.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
also
I
the
also
thing,
was thinking.
yeah.
I was like, I don't think gold's melting temperature is that low.
Yeah.
Gold's
But
one
okay.
of the softer like ores, but at the same time, like I don't think a fire's just gonna
To get
Yeah,
it that
like,
fluid?
yeah,
It's like that-
that much.
That one part in like the first scene of Game of Thrones, Khal Drogo just drops like gold in like a boiling pot, and then 6 seconds later it's suddenly like molten.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, give us time.
Yeah, you gotta wait a bit,
Come on.
or at least something hotter than just a normal fire.
yeah,
Yeah, but it was very much, oh, The Hobbit. Oh, still doesn't work.
yeah,
No.
Even here, still doesn't work.
yep.
I get it's a whole visual spectacle, but
I
doesn't
said
fucking work.
I even don't think it's that much of a visual spectacle, because I
No.
don't think the gold against the red is a nice matchup.
nah.
I think it can be a nice allegory if you want to look for one.
Yeah,
I guess.
You know,
I'm
greed kills, but I don't think that was his story.
No, absolutely not.
Nah.
I said to you, he's defeated by gold. He's a Cyberman.
What if like you were to try and kill him and steal part of his body?
I mean, yeah, you could just
That's-
cut his head off and run away.
That's just the story of Dracula in Castlevania 2.
Yes.
But yeah, you could literally just cut his head off and run away, and like eventually he's gonna bleed out, so you wouldn't
Yeah.
even have to run away that long.
Just chuck
You
him in
just
the
need to
ocean.
wait
He
for
can't
brain
swim.
death. Yeah.
Like
You may have
head
cut my
cannot
head off, but
swim.
you can't defeat. Hey, put me back. Put me back. What the fuck? Hey, no, I need to
I
get
did
back.
not see this one coming.
Just put his head in a box.
Don't chuck it in the ocean. How's the head gonna swim? Just a big splash.
He uses his like tongue as like a motor.
God.
Yeah, so much potential for
Yeah.
comedic effect,
Uh-huh.
though. I mean, it's very Deadpool, but
Yeah.
you know, when you have the same healing thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're asking for
I
it.
mean, to be fair, I don't think Deadpool was a thing at this point in time.
That's fair.
If
Not
it
even
was, it would be
common.
very early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, that was
That was Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
Ronin Scroll.
Ronin
Well,
Scroll.
yeah.
Yeah.
overall thoughts for me is mostly like, should have been a series, would have worked better. Some elements needed some, workshopping.
You know, just
Yeah.
iron out the kinks.
Yeah.
And, iron out the kinks.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to make that joke. Yeah, it's that thing where I enjoy it in a sense, but at the same time, there's so many fucking problems with it,
But you don't
and it's also a
recognize them.
slog to get through.
Yeah.
I'd say this is a good movie I'd put on as background noise,
Yeah.
but like only certain parts as well. 'cause,
Yeah.
You skip. Okay.
yeah, like I can't exactly do something like some sort of menial task while like the rape scene's happening in
Yeah.
the background because that just feels weird.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Uh,
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5 I think is fair.
I think 6 because the rape scenes disturb me way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a balance between 6 and 6.5.
No, yeah. Because again, like some things gave me the this is fun. Like
Yeah.
blind guy, samurai, Bamboo
Yeah.
Forest 5. Like,
That was the best part of
ooh,
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And then it's just, he's dead. I would have liked for him to maybe, run away, come back later. Would have been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have just had a movie about
Instead,
that guy.
we gotta have String Guy.
Why is it
Because they
string?
kind of set him up as like a thing.
Yeah, the second big boss-ish.
Yeah.
The boss below the boss.
Yeah.
Why
So
is it
he's just
string,
kinda-
by the way? Is that like a cultural thing? I don't know.
I
Or is
don't
it?
know.
Do they just
I
like
don't know.
string?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if it's meant to be like a reference to the red thread of fate that Japan has, where like everyone's
yeah.
connected.
That could be it.
Maybe.
I feel like that's a fucking stretch, though.
Yeah, but this movie is full of stretches.
I know.
I mean, it's also electricity
He can
string.
conduct a lot of stuff through it.
Yeah,
He
so
does electricity, but I think he also lights someone on fire at one point.
maybe it's the kite thing, Ben Franklin. Fuck if I know.
Again, a stretch.
I'm trying to make this a better movie.
I want to believe that's what they were going for.
It's funny you mentioned like the series thing though, because it does have like a TV series, except it's a sequel.
Aww.
Yeah, it's not like a retelling. It's like a direct follow up. I've never seen it, so I'm not sure how good it is, but
They should redo this as like an actual series, like
Yeah.
best story.
I don't know if it would work now.
Uh,
Not from like
I mean,
the-
you'd have to
the-
change it, obviously.
Not from
Yeah.
like the sense of the context, but content even. I just don't think any studio
Pick it up.
would pull it off
Yeah.
animation wise. Like I think the industry's too different now.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because even Madhouse, who made this originally, are still around, but they're just like a shell of their former selves. Yeah, long gone are the days of this, Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, and all that sort of stuff. So
It's a bit depressing when you put it like that.
it is. But sometimes
Some
these
things are left in the past. though.
Yeah. Okay, so Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust is.
A vibe.
Do you know?
I have
It's a movie.
blanked on who directed it. Yoshiaki Kawajiri. It was produced by Studio Madhouse primarily for an English-speaking audience, so we all watched it in English dub because
I was curious. About
Yeah.
that. I was like,
Yeah.
how come it's just in English?
yeah.
I was
There
tempted.
is a Japanese track, but we can't get a hold of it outside of Japan.
Oh, okay. When I like saw that and I saw like there was no Japanese star, I was almost gonna ask, did you mean to like just send an English dub? Or is it
Yeah.
just an English
That's what we did
dub?
as well. Yeah, I was like, maybe downloaded the wrong file.
No, it's only available in English, which is fine because the English dub is fine.
Yeah, I was
liked
really
it.
surprised. At the end of the thing, I was like, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
We usually watch stuff in Japanese because it's usually the best. But this one was like, this is really good. It was like, it doesn't
Feel
the
weird.
the sync with the lips move. I was like, this
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
it looks so natural. So
It was
so
recorded in English, and so they animated to the
yeah, that's why. Okay,
Ah.
English
English
we look
voices.
too.
to natural.
Yeah.
So yeah, who wants to kick us off? Because I'm still reeling from General.
Fair.
I think we all are in some
Yeah.
sense.
Um,
This movie was a vibe.
Oh, it
It
was
was a
such a
vibe.
vibe. Yeah.
it was. I loved the general aesthetic
Oh,
of
yeah.
the film.
Yes.
Do you know when it came out?
I actually looked it up.
The
It was like 1997.
2000.
No, it was 1997.
No, General was 1987. This was 2000.
Hold on, I'm gonna confirm
sorry.
this
I'm
right
sorry.
now.
Because
There-
General was one of the last traditionally animated anime movies, so it was all produced on cells, 80,000 or something like that. I think Akira was 160.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking 90s because there was another Vampire Hunter D. movie
Yes,
that
so
in
there
the
was
90s.
originally a OVA of Vampire Hunter D, which adapted the first book of the novels.
Okay. That's
This
what I'm
adapts
thinking of.
volume 3, and there's like an audio drama that adapts the second one, but they're not like interconnected. You don't need to see any of them.
Okay.
They're all
Okay.
different, staff.
I didn't feel like I was left out just watching this.
No,
movie.
I mean the
same.
film just fucking starts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just kind of throws you in, but in a good way. I
Yeah.
wasn't confused. I'm like, yeah, let's just take me for the ride. Let's see what happens.
Just get right in there.
Yeah.
I love how it opens with this very classic kind of horror opening where you're kind of going through the street, you see all these like rooftops and the crosses, and then it opens, we see like the girl, and then it opens up with the hanging upside down vampire, and she gets like swept away, and I'm like, that's so like classic Hammer horror
Oh, yeah.
type film.
Not even just that. I got like vibes of like very classic horror, like Universal monster
Yeah.
sort of vibes.
There's a lot of inspiration from Dracula and stuff like that. There was a lot of aesthetic influence from Francis Ford Coppola's
That makes
Dracula.
so much sense.
Yeah. And obviously a lot of influence from the original 19...
30s? What? When you say original, how
the
far
first
back?
one with speaking.
Yeah, 1930.
Bela Lugosi.
Oh, Bela Lugosi.
yeah. I struggle to remember his name there.
One of the first sound movies, if I remember correctly.
Yes. And Melina did not know who he was.
Correct.
As we found out.
You
Yes.
disgust me.
We were playing Jackbox the other night, and Bela Lugosi, it came up with people to have played Dracula.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman, Bela Lugosi, and then someone who didn't play him, and she didn't know who Bela Lugosi was.
Correct.
Shameful.
Disgust me.
Absolutely shameful.
Yeah.
He's the Dracula.
He was so much. He was such an iconic part of the role. They actually, I don't know if this is an urban legend. They actually buried him in the Dracula cake.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yes.
Respect his name.
Well,
About the movie. So I don't want to spoil Jinro, but the way they start, it's so like
different.
complete,
yeah.
and it's like the Vampire D just throws you in, but you can follow. It's mainly action, so your brain is kind of
Woohoo.
Hell yeah.
Punch.
fully
Neuron activation.
Yeah, stimulation.
While Jinro reminded me of fucking Metal Gear Solid.
It does have this like really
They give
long.
you this 10-minute like exposition sequence, and like I don't know what.
I had
going
to
on.
restart so many times. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
We were going through. I'm like, are you lost? I'm like, I'm so lost.
Yeah, and I was like, while Vampire Day is just like
There you go. I was like, I get
Yeah.
it.
fun. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the thing is like General could have been way more concise because in all of the stuff they say in that like opening 15 minutes, all you need to know is social unrest, riots, fascist police.
I still don't know what was going on.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
the general world
I don't
didn't
know
click
what
with
they
me.
were-
We're talking about General now. We start
Yeah,
talking
we'll,
about Vampire
we'll get
D.
to General. Vampire Hunter D. So it's a very kind of, it's just like a bit of an adventure movie. And it's you kind of move from one action set piece to the next with like some kind of quiet moments. There's not much of a character to D, but I think that works.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Well,
Yeah.
What's the name of the half? What's the name
Dun-
of
The Dun Peel.
Dun Peel.
Funny name.
It is a very
I don't know where that comes from. I don't know why he's called a Dun Peel. It never explains.
No, it's just they're called the Dun Peel. I'm like, okay, why?
They
That's
just
it.
are.
There are. I'm
And then I was like, is
Okay.
the D? Does the D stand for dumb?
That's what I've
what
always
I-
wondered.
Yeah.
I
was like,
assumed
oh,
that after
D's
a while.
Dracula.
no.
Yeah.
It was like
I-
the first guy was Dracula. I was like, oh, that's like a retelling of Dracula, but no, it's the mayor. Like mayor.
Well, Mayor's like the villain in this one,
Yeah.
but I think Dee's dad was a vampire. He was the king of the vampires, so I think you're left to assume
It's
it was
implied
Dracula.
it's a sort of Dracula
Yeah.
a la carte story, just to go into Castlevania
Yeah.
for a second. Because that's
It does
basically
have
all.
a very Castlevania.
Yeah, with Dracula falling in love like a human and a half ling son. I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what the term is.
Yeah.
Dun Peel.
And usually, they leave a lot of stuff to your imagination.
Yeah.
And usually I'm pretty, I want to know, like, why do you just, just leave me here with no explanation? But I feel like since it was like, so like an action movie,
Yeah.
I really didn't care.
I think it went more for atmosphere
Yeah,
than anything else.
yeah.
And I think if I had over-explained it, it would have been too much.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Because he has the hand.
Yeah, which comes out of nowhere.
about it.
At
Yeah,
some
No
point,
explanation.
you
Yeah.
hear someone talking, and the subtitles just because we watch it with subtitles on as well. It says left hand. Says
What
it.
do
I'm
you
like,
mean?
what the fuck?
He doesn't get a name. He's just left hand.
I had to turn the subtitles on for the hand so many times because he's always talking like this.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
because he's a fucking hand.
Okay, I don't feel stupid for doing that because I was like, oh, I need to put subtitles on for this even though it's dubbed.
I rewound so many times like, what the fuck did he just say?
He sort of mumbles.
Well, he's a hand, so he's
Yeah.
always like being
Yeah.
forced to grip something because
And
D
he-
just doesn't want to listen to him.
No.
They just mentioned he's a parasite, but I don't know if they meant like, oh, you're a parasite, as in
I don't want you.
I don't want you,
Yeah.
or it's an actual parasite.
Like a literal
some
thing.
weird. Yeah.
I read so I have the collector's edition of this, and it comes with like a little booklet, and I mean little, it's like 4 pages, and it mentions symbiont, and I'm like, okay, I know what symbiote means,
Venom.
Yeah.
but this has an N after the O, so it's SYMBIONT, symbiont.
Symbiont.
I'm reading that, and I'm like, thanks, you've given me a word I don't know the meaning to, it's just not explained.
know.
But
The
'cause you said-
thing.
is it part of an extended thing? You said like an extended
Um,
series or
The books, I think, there's like 40 of them in Japan. I think most of them are translated in English. And I own most of them. And I had been planning when we cover this, read the first book.
You've had so much time.
I have.
I guess they explain.
I would hope
the-
in the first volume they kind of explain this.
Yeah,
No, they're just like, here's the left hand. He talks.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
yeah. Because
he
if
does.
you imagine if it was like generally like this, they give like this 20-minute explanation in the beginning. I was like, no, but this is fun. I mean, yeah, and I feel the pacing was so fast that they have characters that appear for 2 minutes and they die.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that because I'm like watching it. I've maybe seen like the first 30 minutes or something like that, and I'm watching it and I'm like, oh yeah, those characters, and then they just immediately die, and I'm like,
Oh, those
oh,
characters.
okay.
Yeah, because I feel because it was so fast paced.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
want to have more like character development, you needed like the movie to be 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have characters that show up and you're like, oh, he's dead. Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
Nice
Like
knowing
you
that guy.
have it when he goes for a horse, and like you have the old guy who like
Yeah.
sells him it. There's just this really extended scene where he goes through his whole backstory of how he was rescued by D as a kid, but the actual characters in the movie that we spend the whole time with barely get any actual exposition.
That's true.
D
Yeah.
is just standing there next to the horse for the whole sequence.
He's just got the fucking Mike Wazowski like face. Of
Yeah,
just,
it's just like, oh god.
With his massive shoulder pads.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
With the little thing that's so
Yeah.
funny.
Also, his mom. We have like I think a small segment where he sees his mom.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the
And so-
hallucination sequence.
The mom calls him D. Did they name their child a letter? We were joking about it. What was the fake name we gave?
Dungo.
Dungo. We said his
Might as
name's
well.
Come
Dungo.
forward, Dungo.
The thing is, you say they wouldn't call their child just a letter, but it's anime. That's like
Yeah,
the
they would be accepted.
least
If
weird
they called
thing.
it a number.
But,
No, that's happened in anime I've watched before as
It
well.
would be accepted. Like
no. I was-
3.
Hello, 14. No, it just felt weird because of all letters, D.
Yeah, it's not aged particularly well.
No.
In the
Yeah, I made like the joke when the moment he first like tells his name to like the other hunters, like I forget the Marcus something or whatever.
Oh
asks.
yeah, yeah.
Asked
Mr.
him
Buff.
like, "Hey, what's your name? We should be friends." And he's just like D, and he just leaves. And all I can think of is Marcus is just thinking, "Did he just call me a dick?"
But he's
Very politely.
There's this
Yeah.
immediately like really long conversation where they're like, "Oh my god, it's that famous hunter D," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like he's not going to be someone who wants to be well known because he's rejected from society.
Once you've been around for as long as he is, you kind of
Yeah, because
it
like you don't
implies-
realize just how long he's been around until the end.
Oh, yeah.
Where you see the funeral of the person he was with the entire movie, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
feel
you
like-
meet her little granddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the gut punch to end the movie.
Yeah.
I was just like, excuse me? Excuse me, you can do this. You can make the thing that was going to make me sad and then not happen, but then it happens and it made me feel bad.
I need to talk about like the last 20 minutes.
The Castle of Illusion.
I don't want to say the rocket ship reminds me of Mystery of Mamo, but
Oh,
it definitely...
dead. I seen that and I'm like, please don't. Don't do it to me again.
The flashing goals remind me of Mom.
Oh, yeah. There
Oh,
was
there
a
was-
lot of
yeah,
flashing.
that's,
Like, there
Uh,
was a particular sequence that was so flashy, and I was like, if I suffered from seizures,
Oh, yeah,
I would
yeah.
have died.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
100%.
Weirdly, like I mentioned, Mamo has like a warning at the beginning of it, and Vampire
Yeah.
Hunter D did not have it. And I'm
No.
like,
It should.
yeah,
It should.
Kawajiri normally does that sort of thing in his stuff, but it's not like Vampire Hunter D isn't his normal like color palette. It's normally way darker. There's a lot of blue. It's more at night, and so flashing lights are kind of less intense because they're
Yeah.
not, bright on bright. And this
Yeah.
was like white light, like you're gonna see God.
Yeah.
But the design of the castle is amazing.
Oh yeah,
like,
I
you know,
love
the
that.
gothic romanticism
It looks a lot like
style.
a cathedral I saw in Sevilla.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry,
very
yeah.
real to. It looks very real to life. But I hated that the rocket also looked like it. It just made
Yeah.
it look like
When it launched, I was like, really?
you paid too much for the design of it.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
could have done this so much cheaper.
She had a lot of time. She maybe built it herself. Although she was dead.
Yeah, that's the thing. So the actual villain of the movie.
I was a bit lost.
Oh yeah, we were
Carmella.
all, I
So
think, lost
the
at the
woman, the woman in the tomb,
Carmilla.
the
Carmella.
Carmella.
she was the same
person that
lady that we saw.
Yeah.
yeah,
know,
she like
welcoming
shows
them
up
in
and
the
greets them
castle.
at the castle, and then
So
it's
she was an illusion.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think that's the implication.
This-
Why the plan? Why did she just grab some random people and
I don't know.
that'd be like, give them an illusion. Or something. Be like, come in the castle. It's it's safe. Like,
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
She's like, I paid $10 million. How? If you're an illusion, how did
Tax.
you?
Excuse
No,
me.
but like,
gotta pay
if
tax.
she's an illusion, how
Look, she's not gonna resurrect herself with random people. She's gonna get fancy. She's
Yeah.
gonna go all out.
Get the
Yeah.
princess
So
type
I was like,
of girl.
maybe
Yeah.
she was. Was she?
Well, she was just the
she-
girl.
Yeah.
She was just a girl.
She was
Oh
just a
yeah,
girl.
just the girl. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
See, that's.
So did she want to like resurrect into the girl? Did she want to like
Yeah, that's what
possess
I was
her?
like. Oh, that would make sense. Pretty girl, I suppose. Whatever, fine. And then she just this bloody monster,
Yeah,
literally,
yeah.
just gets out. I'm like, oh, that just kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are so many things. It's so fast. There are so many things that you don't register what's happening.
No,
Like the girl, one of the three, the baddies. The tree girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
She
yeah,
just
yeah.
dies because of a
lightning.
lightning.
strike.
But I'm like,
Yeah.
was it intent? Was it someone?
It's kind
that
of like,
struck?
is it God?
Yeah. I was like, are we gonna go? Is it God gonna show up?
I genuinely burst out laughing when that happened
Yeah.
because I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, great! She pissed off Zeus."
Right. So
They also do not like fit with the aesthetic
No.
of the movie whatsoever.
We're
You
gonna
have
talk about
her,
Werewolf Man.
Werewolf tummy?
man.
they look like
not
bad DC.
yeah.
villains.
Yeah.
I said to Shaun that they look like they're from like a 90s fighting video game, and he was like, yeah, they look like from Darkstalkers. And I'm like, fuck, that's it. They
Yeah.
look exactly like they belong
True.
in there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tree Lady is like a character design ripped straight out of Darkstalkers.
Oh yeah, because there's like a cat girl
Yeah.
type person that like looks very close.
Yeah,
She's just
yeah.
like blue rather than green.
Yeah, yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. There's a lot of characters that don't necessarily like. I didn't know who they were or
No.
what their names were.
No.
They were just kind of fighting D, and I'm like,
The werewolf guy just cracks me up.
oh yeah, he's
What?
not a
It's like-
werewolf. It's just stomach.
Yeah.
Stomach is mouth,
It's
And
the
his
stomach.
mouth.
but hand is also mouth.
It's the stomach that got bit. The rest just got pulled in.
God,
Also,
yeah.
D defeats Carmella by sucking her up with the hand.
Yeah. Nom.
What?
It's Kirby.
I know.
Yeah,
It's Kirby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
totally
what
like
when he was,
Kirby.
when he was sucking the shadow
Yeah.
thing. I was like, that's Kirby. Yeah, that's what it
It's
is.
Kirby.
Could you imagine if, like, when he did that, he like gained part of the power
That
of
would be hilarious.
like his hand just turns into like Carmella.
That would
See,
have been
that
an
would've
amazing
been
ending.
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's forced to be in. I'd watch the sequel if that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that like Meyer, that's how you pronounce it?
Yeah, yeah.
He gets cut in half.
And then just comes
And
back.
then just
I think
comes
that
back.
I think that was an illusion, though. I think that's like the
that would make
implication
sense,
because
yeah.
of how much weird
Shit
and illusionary
happens.
shit
Okay.
happens.
Because it felt like that was the real one. Because there's also an illusion of him in like the mirror to trick the girl. At some point.
Oh yeah, because like when you
Oh,
actually
yeah.
see like behind Meyer, he's not in the mirror.
Yes,
So-
that's
Yeah.
by the way, basically Phantom of the Opera. They have a whole sequence where the Phantom's
He-
in the mirror and she goes in the mirror.
There's also a part of the film where half of his face gets burnt as well.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he goes out in the daylight and just combusts.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's what happens
Is it
to
called
vampires.
heat disease?
Heat disease. That's it. Yeah. That's
Or
what I
just
think done
being a
Peel.
vampire.
I think that's what happens to done Peels because they're half and half. They have some resilience. It's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Blade.
He just
Yeah.
gets very tired.
Yeah. He just
I have to dig a hole. And just bury
Yeah.
myself.
I must dig a hole.
I must return to dirt.
And then it was so funny when he was actually under the dirt and he just has his head sticking
Oh,
out.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like he's
And
getting
then,
like a
is it just-
spa.
He's having this very emotional conversation with
Yeah.
what's her name, where she's like
Layla, I think.
Layla.
and she's like explaining her backstory, how it's really sad, all of her family's dead, and he's just like neck
sucks.
deep.
Boy.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's interesting,
also
but I sure don't care.
But here's the thing: did they dig the hole and then someone put the dirt on? How did he do it by himself? He
The
just goes-
hand.
I imagine like maybe Layla helped him dig
Yeah,
a hole, and
well,
then he just lay down. It's like, could you just,
Well, I mean,
could you just kick it over me? It's fine. Just kick it.
I think that's implied because like she says after that, like, huh, I guess that balances us out. Like we're even now
Yeah.
because he helps her earlier in the movie.
Yeah,
I feel like I would have liked to see her just kick some dirt.
That would have been great.
I also love that scene because she's like, my life has been nothing but suffering, and you've just like, you're talking to a guy shunned from society just for the very fact he's alive.
That's rough, buddy.
It's like, oh my god, I am struggling, and he's like, bitch, I am struggle.
Talks from dirt.
Yeah, we're just there in dirt.
I send that image of like Mel Gibson talking to like the guy who played Jesus all bloody.
Oh man,
I totally forgot I was just in the dirt.
in the dirt.
Yeah.
Because like her parents got killed, right?
Yeah. I think they were killed by vampires.
Yeah, so killed by vampires. She's telling her story to have vampire guy who's been alive for way too long at this point. He's like, oh yeah.
I've heard this variation of this story like 50 times.
At this point, he's just fully out, like, yeah, we know vampires kill.
He's
you.
just
I'm a
lying there
hunter.
like, why do they always tell me that?
Every time I'm in
You
the
should get a
dirt.
therapy license.
Does this look like a therapist chair?
I do not have enough emotional range to give you therapy.
Yeah, just that would have been such a great offhand comment. It's like, my rate is too high for you. I'm sorry.
But that's true. I think he's the least fleshed out character in the whole movie.
Yes.
You don't know.
But it works.
I think that's-
it
yeah.
works. I think it's a choice. Like it's like the in video games the voice like Gordon Freeman. It's like it's the faceless, the voiceless hero. It's like that's you. You identify as.
If the rest of the world and like side characters have enough character to them, it can sort of excuse that. I feel.
Oh, for sure.
And I think the world itself has just enough there to carry the movie.
Because to go with like video games, like the best example I can think of is like Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Link is a plank of wood. He has no personality whatsoever, but every other character is so full of life in that game that it makes up for it tenfold.
I was going to compare Breath of the Wild, but yeah, some of the people don't have character in that.
Hey, Flower Lady has lots of character.
Let's not talk about Flower Lady. Why did they design her like that?
They wanted to. Anyway.
Is there anything? I feel like there was something else I was going to say, and I've totally blanked on what it was.
Why is it always the vampire man with the woman girl? Can we have...
It's the story all
we
this
tried
time.
to we tried to think about, is there ever be like a female vampire?
Because I just love the power imbalance of it. It would be great to have this strong female vampire and like wimpy looking dude. I would love that.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Isn't that Hotel Transylvania?
I've never seen Hotel Transylvania.
I've seen the first one as a kid.
Can confirm. Yes.
Okay.
Ish. But they're both like teenagers.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's
Whoa. What?
Like it's how you have
she's
big
like
Dracula.
118.
You have Dracula and his daughter dates a human guy.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, but she is of course older, but implied to be a child.
Yeah, in terms of vampire age.
Okay, so they don't pull like the anime.
The lowly. Oh, she's actually a demon.
She's actually a demon that's like
10,000
10,000 years old, but she looks like a 4-year-old.
Wait, they have kids though. In one of the movies.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, like 3 movies in, I think they.
Is it Disney or DreamWorks?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's Transylvania Illumination.
I think it's Illumination.
I think it's Illumination.
Yeah.
Even worse.
I've only seen the first one, but I know enough about the other two.
I think I've seen 3. Is there? I don't know if there's a 4th.
I think there's 3 of them as far as I'm
There,
aware.
I think there's
It's a
one on a
series.
cruise ship, and I haven't seen the one on a cruise ship. Have I seen the one on a cruise ship? I think I've seen the one on a cruise ship as well. Because it ends with, we must play the song that everyone can dance to. And I think it's the Macarena.
Are we sure? Are we sure this isn't Alvin and the Chipmunks shipwrecked?
It could be.
How many Hotel Transylvania?
We're gonna look this up right now.
But I would like to see, like...
series.
I think at least 3.
Yeah, there is a series.
See,
4 feature
Adam Sandler,
films.
that's where you
feature
know
films.
that's going wrong.
Oh god, he's so there's Hotel Transylvania 1, 2, 3 Summer Vacation,
I've seen Summer.
and Hotel Transylvania Transformania.
I haven't seen Transformania. It's on
I
the
don't know
watch
which
list.
one's on a cruise ship.
And a TV series as well. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I imagine
What?
Summer Vacation would be on the cruise
There's
ship.
television
Summer
series.
Vacation's on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
It ran for 3 years. That's 3 years too long.
God.
The thing is,
That's too
I've
much.
only watched the first one, but I liked that movie. It's a good movie.
Fun, yeah.
I don't know about the sequels or the series, but I liked the first one.
I don't think it's Illumination. I think it's Sony.
Ooh.
It is. It's Columbia Pictures, Sony Animation, and Sony Imageworks.
We can get this in Spider-Verse.
Oh god. god.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, would like to see more woman
Yeah,
vampire, strong, man, small.
Write it.
Oh, maybe.
A vampire that would just fucking kill me.
We're coming back to the.
It always comes back to that meme.
I just woke up this morning and thought, why can't I meet a woman that will just fucking kill me?
So, the scores?
I'd give this a solid 8.
I'd give this a 7. I love the movie, but there's some things holding it back that keep it from being like an 8 for me.
Yeah, I'm in the middle, like 7.5. Yeah.
Yeah, same. 7.5. Yeah.
I'd probably have gone higher if, like, because I really like Yoshiaki Kawajiri's work. I'd have gone higher if, like, the last act wasn't so fucking confusing.
That's the thing that pulls it down for me.
Yeah. Also, the music was.
Oh, yeah. The soundtrack for both of these movies were actually really good.
Yeah. Like both of these movies have great soundtracks and I'd say great animation as well. Like this one specifically, I could sort of do it like what I think a lot of people do for Akira, where they don't listen to the story or anything. They just put it on as a visual journey.
Yeah.
The castle sequence. I actually had to go and rewind when they go on the bridge, and there is this choir, and they go. There's like this sound and it goes down. I was like, that's incredible. Like, it's really hard to do as a choir singer. You have to know the pitch and everything. And I was like, that's so
You got so excited. I was like, I have to do this again.
I think it was a black mass choir. I think they used for that or something. I read.
Nice.
Cool.
Because I was like, oh yeah, this. And I totally forgot about that section until I was like reading about the soundtrack. Thank you guys so much for listening to this EX cut of Anime Lane covering Yoshiaki Kawajiri's work that we've covered previously on the podcast. I can't really tell you what's in store for the future for EX cuts, but yeah, stick around, find out, tune into episodes every Friday on Anime Lane. Bye.